Hey there. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another stream for those who see this after the fact. Hope everyone is doing well on this Valentine's Day. RJ, don't know what happened to that review. Sorry. And Steven, no, I did not see Madam Web. Hey there, Preminator. Hope you're doing well for today. Just sitting back, relaxing, and seeing what happens next. Fair do a stream for a little bit. Hey there, Broad Stipe, Bobby, John Zero Cool. Hope you're doing well, man. Mr. D Man, Right Hammer, Rapper Kirby. Hello there. Salvatore didn't see that film, but hello there. Attention fan, doing okay. Can't complain too much, so I'm doing okay so far. Yeah, fair do a stream for a few hours, and we'll see what happens next. As far as I know, there's no topics or anything I can think of off the top of my head. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Pretty much start these saying hi to people. Oh, you saw Southern Comfort Rituals? Very cool. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed both of them. Those are both very good, solid movies. Hey there, DJ Mexicano. New Image films? I don't know which films are New Image. You don't be watching The Iron Claw? Cool. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it, John. Pretty good film. Of course, Oscars didn't nominate for Best Picture, but Barbie is nominated, so that shows how stupid the Oscars are. Yep, Brad Hammer, I did get that. I'll do that as soon as I can. Thank you, Rat Hammer. Hey there, Alex. Hey there, Alter Ego. Been doing well. Can't complain. Just relaxing here and seeing what happens next. Oh, thanks. Wow, I lived in one, the first super chat. Thank you, man. Uh, hey, Matt. Hey, I lived in one. Hope you're doing well on this Valentine's Day. I've been checking out Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. Have you ever watched it? Yes, I have. That is an interesting one. Because for those who don't know, it's Gordon Ramsay going to all these various kitchens throughout the country and just seeing how awful, terrible the conditions are and him trying to help them out. And there's some pretty funny stuff in it. Gordon Ramsay gives a no BS attitude towards the folks. You, you definitely have to check out the one. I forget who it is. It's the two people that own like a Danish place or something. It's like a younger woman and an older guy. And they're so mean to their customers. And you just see how Gordon Ramsay just so confused by these two and how they act. I forget who the hell they were. I think the guy was like an older guy who was Hungarian or German or I forget what it was. God, I wish I could remember. It's like a pastry place. I think it was a pastry place. God, I wish I could remember what the hell that was called. Amy's Bakery. That's who it is. You definitely have to check out Amy's Bakery. You gotta check out that one, Amy's Bakery, if you haven't checked that out yet. That's a that's a winner, so to speak. But yeah, I do remember enjoying that. I remember having fun watching it. And Gordon Ramsay, I do like. I mean, he comes off rough and tough. I think a lot of that's for the cameras. Granted, I'm sure he's a tough boss, but I think he plays it up for the cameras. I know there's another one he did with hotels where he does the same thing but with hotels. Is it Hotel Hell? I think it's called. Yeah, Hotel Hell. There's about 3 seasons. It's the same as Kitchen Nightmares, except he goes to a hotel but it's the same type of mentality to it. But yeah, I do enjoy Kitchen Nightmares. It is a lot of fun. So, but yeah, definitely recommend Amy's Bakery. Definitely recommend that episode. I know they did a couple in New York as well. I forget what they were called. But yeah, Amy's Bakery, that's the one where they were just completely crapping on their customers. And there's like a waitress quitting like every 2 weeks. But hi to people in the chat. Hope you're doing well, man. Uh, I don't care about the Michael Jackson biopic. No desire to see it. Hey there, Mark Marius. Hey there, Marcus. Uh, Undercover Boss. Nope, never heard of it. Hey there, Rufus. Hey there, Chaz. Saying hi to everybody in the chat. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Gordon sort of reminds me of a coach of a football team. He's tough, he's in your face, but in the end of the day, he just wants to make you the very best out of you. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's a good way to put it because I think Gordon Ramsay does mean well. There's the Hot Ones episode he did, which is very funny, and he had a good sense of humor to it. I know he did a video with Steve-O. That also was funny for different reasons. But yeah, I do like Gordon Ramsay. I do remember a lot of the episode Kitchen Nightmares. It's too bad there wasn't like a whole set to buy of those. But of course, I mean, online you find them to watch. And again, he did have another show called Hotel Hell, which if you like Kitchen Nightmares, I think you'll enjoy Hotel Hell. But yeah, Gordon Ramsay exactly. A football coach is the best way to describe him. Taylor Country Shape, Arcade, you bought a new video card. That's cool. Yeah, I already know about the Michael Jackson biopic. Someone already mentioned it. Hey, Kevin, Wolfram and Mullen, hello there. Turtle Christmas, that was copyright because I used footage. Uh, so that's why, because I use footage. That's why I don't really use much footage of anything anymore. Because they'll hit you whether a week, a month, or a year for copyright. That's why I don't really use footage anymore, and people get mad at me for it. But I don't know. They have some deal where they're able to do it, but I don't. But hey, what can you do? The Hot Ones episode guy in the Kitchen Nightmares. That made sense. Arcade, I reviewed those movies on the channel. Favorite Evil Dead film is Evil Dead 2. You saw the Beekeeper? Cool. No one has requested that, so I haven't seen the Beekeeper. But that's cool, Chaz. I don't watch trailers and teasers anymore, so I didn't see the Deadpool teaser. Because if I'm curious about it, then it'll just give away the entire movie. If I'm not curious about it, then I don't know. It just may be bad. Hi, Ian. Oh, thank you, Rapper Kirby. You don't believe what just happened before overtime of that event. I had this fire close to me. Thankfully, I'm safe. No damage here. I'm not sure what event you're talking about, but I'm glad you're okay. But yeah, sorry, Rapper Kirby. I don't know what event you're talking about, but you had a fire close to you. Hey, I'm glad you're safe. Uh, I'm glad you're safe, man. That's all that matters. So, yeah, sorry that happened, man. Nope, I have not seen Oppenheimer. No one has requested it. Benny Loves You, never heard of it. Bob Marley biopic, didn't see it. Oh, there's a shooting at a Super Bowl victory parade. I did not know about that. Damn. Didn't know about that because I really haven't been on the computer at all today. I've been sort of busy doing all sorts of stuff. Oh, Super Bowl, next door caught on fire. Damn. Well, I'm glad you're safe. At least you're safe. That's good. Sorry that happened, man. Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. I don't have a favorite romantic film. Don't care about Bewitched. Favorite 80s song? Uh, I don't know. I like Hearts on Fire for Rocky 4. Hard Ticket to Hawaii. I think I reviewed that film, Austin Armstrong. Feel free to watch the review. I read up on Gordon Ramsay. Everyone says he is not as a stream and he's actually great to be around. He's only streamed for the cameras and when he's very stressed. Well, I mean, that's what I said before. That's why I figured. That's what I assumed. So, yeah, that made sense. It's the cameras to play it up and it became entertaining, became funny. So it worked out for him. Do I like Voice of America's Sons? Yes, I do. Oh, is this your favorite video games, Bobby? Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it. So let's see this list. Number one, War of the Monsters. I think you mentioned that before, but I've never played that game. Number two, Army Men, Sarge's Heroes. I have heard of that game. I have heard of that game. I've never played it though. And you play as the Army Men toy, and it's like a fight. You know, you shoot and they're army toys. Does those Save the Earth? I've heard of that. That's a fighting game for was it PS2 era? SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. I definitely have heard about that. Simpsons Road Rage. I have played that. That's kind of crazy taxi, but with the Simpsons. You also had Hit and Run, but that had a little bit more to a story to it. Number six, The Sims. I've heard of The Sims. I've never played it. Number seven, TMNT Smash Up. Have heard of that. Again, it's kind of a just a fighting game. Number eight, God of War. I like God of War 1 and 2. Had the first game playthrough up on the channel. I got a request to do God of War 2. I'll do that sometime this month. Spider-Man 2. Never played that game. And number 10, TeamCon 2005. I've seen Michael Keane on his Phantasm channel play that game. Look better than the movie because it's funny is that if you do something with the end, I think if you play it again, something about you play the game a second time, TeamCon would actually live at the end. Because someone had that cutscene on YouTube. Like one of the alternate endings of TeamCon is TeamCon living, and he goes back to the island. Like if you type up TeamCon 2005 game, like alternate ending, there's I forget how you get it, but yeah, you actually get an ending where TeamCon lives. That's actually pretty cool. Hey Connor, how about you shush up? That's his opinion. Connor, I mean, what's wrong with old games? Unless you want to leave, Connor, you can get the fuck out. If you want to be an asshole, I don't know what your deal is out of the blue being an asshole. Seem like a cool guy. So what's up, buddy? You have a bad day or something? Otherwise, you need to leave. What's wrong with older games? Some of my favorite games are Resident Evil 4 and Silent Hill 2. Those are older games. You want to talk shit to me now too, Connor? Hmm? You're attacking Bobby out of the blue for no damn reason. So Connor, how about you behave or you can leave? You want to be a dick for no reason? Fork, I'm doing good. How you doing? Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with older games. What? Can't play Contra? Can't play characters too old. I don't know what's wrong with older. I have no idea. I don't know if what's going on. I didn't need a dress world at all, let alone what we got. Yeah, I've seen Miami Connection. It is what it is. Hey, Bobby, I don't blame you. I like some of the older games too, so I don't blame you. I don't know what the hell Connor's problem is. Seemed like a cool guy. I don't know what his deal is. Tomb Raider remasters for PS5. That's cool. Yeah, I'll get the 4K Leviathan because that's a personal favorite of mine. Hey there, frame by frame. Favorite NES games to play? Contra is one of them. Definitely. I do enjoy Contra. Uh, Other NES games. I like the original Ninja Turtles game, which I was able to beat finally. I do enjoy that one. Uh, yeah, a lot of love in Valentine's Day. I don't know, like some guy listed his favorite games, and some guy was like, "Oh, those games are 20 years ago. They suck. You're 20 years behind." And Connor still hasn't said anything yet, so I guess he doesn't want to explain himself for acting like a dick. I don't know what's wrong with older games either. Hey, Connor, you want to explain yourself? You just want to hide. He probably left already. I'm sorry to call you out on it. You decided to be a dick for no reason. The reception man web, it's not surprising. I do like the line that a critic said, Chernobyl level disaster. Okay, the episodes of Kitchen Nightmares you've seen are Burger Kitchen, Jay Willie's Spanish Pavilion, Luigi's El Greco, and Prohibition Grill. Yeah, those are some fun ones. Definitely check out Amy's Bakery. Trust me on this. Amy's Bakery, check out that episode if you can find it. And you'll be amazed at how those people act. Those two people. It's like a younger girl, kind of maybe in 30s, and then like a much older gentleman. So Amy's Bakery is definitely. Hey Mike, how you doing, OCP? How's it going, man? Madam Web is easily the most generic, forgettable, poorly put together comic book film in years. Sony top Morbius in terms of BS. Yeah, I figured. I didn't watch the Deadpool trailer. I don't even watch trailers nowadays. But yeah, Madam Web sucks. This is my shocked face. I'm so shocked. All my favorite teams are from the PS2 era before. Me too. How you doing, Car Detention? How you doing today? How's it going tonight? Yeah, I got PS2 games here that I enjoy. And hey there, Civil Wings. How you doing, man? Sorry I didn't catch up on your Liberty City Grand Theft Auto videos yet. I've just been very busy. But I see that you're playing that. I know you got that and The Last of Us in. Good luck with that. Hey, Jeopardy fan 94. Dominion? Nah, I doubt that I'll get a Blu-ray anytime soon. That's fine, OCP. Yeah, finish dinner, man. Finish eating. You ate shit watching Madam Web, so eat some actual food. But yeah, Madam Web sucks. I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised. Madam Web has a 3.8 on IMDb. Cool. Cool. I did hear about the Michael Keaton film with Al Pacino. I did hear about that. James Marsden is in it. I did read up about that, and that does sound interesting. That does sound interesting. Joan Lee is rolling in her grave for what the film Madam Web did to Madam Web. She voiced in the show Spider-Man. The film is a flat-out disgrace to Madam Web. So what makes it disgrace? I don't know nothing about Madam Web. I've been going down a bar rescue rabbit hole lately. Same concept as Kitchen Nightmares, but with John Taffer screaming at alcohol incompetent bar owners. Okay. Bar rescue. Interesting. I've never heard of that one. Is that a streaming one or was that on an actual? I guess it would be a streaming one. Liberty City Stories is longer than I thought it was going to be. Playthroughs are 7 hours. Looks like it will be 3 times that to beat. Hmm. Well, Mark, I mean, I can't really complain about that either. Yeah, Michael Keaton's directing that movie. That's cool. Yeah, I've never heard of Bar Rescue. Will Madam Web be worse than Spider-Man Lotus? I haven't seen Madam Web, so I don't know. Jessens used to have a bunch of chicks in Spider-Man. Well, I mean, the title kind of tells you that, but like, what makes it horrendous? Never heard of American Fiction. Apple Vision Pro. Okay, cool. I don't have that. Drake, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Marvel keeps getting worse. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Lotus as a fan film, as it's used to look that way. Madam Web at times literally looks like a fan film and it costs $80 million. Mm. Well, that's a good point. Gore the movie god seems like a cool guy. Yeah, Warner Brothers are going to shelve that Acme uh, Wildy Coyote movie, which is kind of strange because they've done looks like they've done much worse films. They didn't shelve them. But yeah, I haven't seen Madam Web. I have not seen Madam Web, so I can't answer the question. A Quiet Place, I only saw the first one. That was there. Thank you, Jesse. I'm glad you enjoyed the review. Well, actually, you just said you watched the review. Maybe you thought the review sucked, but I'm glad you watched it at least. Yeah, I prefer Spider Verse more than the live action Spider Man films. Although I will admit, Amazing Spider Man 2 has grown on me. I know, lo and behold, that's one of those films that have grown on me is Amazing Spider Man 2. If they wanted to turn a profit, Madam Web should have just had all the promotional material as Sydney Sweeney in a tight spider suit. Yeah, but just make a porn version and then skip all the plot and put it on Pornhub. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, no. Spider-Man 2 is my favorite superhero movie. Cool. I don't hate that film. I'm not into the corny version of Spider-Man with the what Sam Raimi was going for on purpose, the campy version. Raindrops keep falling on my head. I do lay out for Molina that I do not like To Be or Not to Be McCryer, and that. I just it's like purposely being very campy. It's just not Spider-Man I really care to see. But it's not a bad film, but I'd rather watch Amazing Spider-Man 2 nowadays. Hey there, General Obvious. Yeah, The Squeeze, another Michael Keaton film. Yeah, I've heard of Purple remake, didn't see it. Cloud with a Chance of Meatballs, I didn't. I don't remember anything about it. Actors from Adam Webb were literally saying, I don't even know if the movie's good. Who said that? Did they say in an interview? A guy was arrested jerking off at a screen in Madam Web. Was what they don't own a computer and do it at home? Hey, Chris, my choice for Spider-Man? I don't know, not nowadays. I don't know who to choose. It seems like animated is better fit for Spider-Man than live action. Yeah, Paul Rubens, that's what his ghost is doing. Paul Rubens' ghost is going to screenings and just jerking off. Hey, it's the afterlife guy found a way to pass the time. The ultimate Pee Wee Playhouse. Dakota Johnson said that, and she also said that the script was changed as soon as she signed on and started filming. So there you go. That figures. That figures. Sounds like a winner. Sounds like a winner. Chicken dinner. Well, thank you, Bobby. New games may look good, but the downsides of the new stuff is download and DLC. I agree, Bobby. Old games you just put in and play, you can unlock by beating the game or earning points and send them to unlock. I agree, Bobby. Again, Bobby, that Connor guy, he disappeared, which is crazy because I thought he was a cool guy, but for some reason went after you because you like older games, which is a very strange thing to do. And then he disappears, so I don't know if he got butthurt or something, but I'm sorry, dude. There's nothing wrong with older games. I agree with what you say. I mean, I could just all I have to do with this game is pop it in. Let's say say this game. I pop it in, it plays. Don't have to worry about DLC, don't have to worry about updates, don't have to worry about, any of the other crap. You just play the game and that's it. There's nothing wrong with it. Older games, and I like some newer games, but for the most part, were older games I liked. So I agree. Nothing wrong with that. In a recent Vlad TV interview, Maujarway said he believes that Van Damme could beat Seagal in a real fight. Really? I gotta check that out then. Because I know he said John Van Damme was not a real martial artist. He said he was a nice guy. Says he worked with John Van Damme on Universal Soldier. I had a big part in the first movie, and he gave me a code, and I was nobody. And then obviously worked with him in the return, but I know he said he wasn't a true martial artist, just like Seagal. But okay, actually, that's interesting. I will have to give that a look. Was How recent was that? Hey there, Drew Reviews. Hope you're doing well, man. And no, folks, I have not seen any trailers. I don't really watch much of new trailers nowadays. But I have to give that a look. That interview. Vlad TV. Yeah, I've heard of Vlad TV. I've seen some of this stuff. But yeah, I definitely have to check that out. Is that the one that came out 3 hours ago? It's like 2 hour interview. Maybe there's a one with clips. Valentine's Day, I don't really care either way about it. Michael J. White does tend to flip flop at times. Didn't he say he could beat up Bruce Lee? He said Sparrow Van Damme during the Media Universe, and that's what convinced him that Van Damme was a legit martial artist. Oh, okay. But he said he wasn't a martial artist. I guess that's what you mean by flip flopping. uh, yeah, there's a new Roadhouse for some reason. I like Street Night. That's cool. Glad you like Street Night. Okay, I got the clip now, so I'll save that for later. Thank you. I live it in one. Thank you, Stephen T. I appreciate that, man. Fire in the Sky, does it make your top five UFO films? And do you believe that story that he really got abducted? I think he got abducted by the bottle, maybe a drunk, alcoholic bottle. But I mean, UFO films. Well, what constitutes as a UFO film? If you're talking about UFO abduction movies, then yes. Because like there's X Files and like that has a UFO in it. There's a lot of movies. Technically Independence Day, those are UFOs. But I guess if you mean like abduction movies, then yeah, Fire in the Sky would be in there. Robert Patrick is in it. That's always a great asset. And do I believe the story? No. I think no, I don't. I don't believe it happened. It's a lot of abduction stories. I think a lot of times it's alcohol enhanced or just wanting attention, just a way of wanting attention. Unless it happens to me, and I'd be like, I'm a believer. But I'm kind of that thing that unless it happens to me, then I don't believe in it too much. Hey there, Yellow Devil. I know that seems like a lame excuse, but like I said, it's hard for me to believe that happened. But good movie, made for a good film. Yeah, the sequences of the abduction are very nightmarish. I agree with that. That's what really sold the film on me is that finale. Very well, very creepy, very well directed. That whole abduction scene. Bad sci-fi guilty pleasure. I mean, usually I either like a movie or I don't. I think some abduction stories have validity, but not many, especially the ones where the witnesses have physical scars or radiation burns. Well, again, it depends on whether, like, if they got them a different way and it affected their mind. I don't know. Again, I want to believe the quote Fox Boulder. It just, I'm cynical. I did review the Black Phone. I liked it. Hey, Trevor, happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people watching My Bloody Valentine. I didn't because, I've seen the film. It's a good film. Maestro, never heard of it. Fire in the Sky, is it a horror film? There's some creepy moments. I would still call like a sci-fi film. Communion, that I was not a fan of. That I thought could have been a lot better. They do DLC for children's games. Yeah, well, that's all games. It's another way to make some money. Granted, if it's a free DLC, that's another thing, but you know. Hey, Brian Sanchez, hello there. I love the original My Bloody Valentine. It's a good slasher film. I don't mind the remake. And someone would say, what's a movie that if I have to remake, what would it be? I don't know. Downloadable content. Person was talking about video game. Means that times like if you buy a game, then later on you could go online and download something and maybe an extra playthrough, mini game, shorter game, and maybe costumes or something else extra. Some some they make you pay for it, some you don't. The worst ending that ruined a horror movie? I don't know. I'd have to think about that. High Tension was a pretty awful ending. I'm sure there are films that are horror films that I would like to see remade. What was that one? Neon Maniacs would be one. A lot of things on the developmental cycle can't be made during the development of a main game. Yeah, but also each time you get a game, it's got to be patched 85 times. It's like, how about you wait and get all the shit fixed and then release it? That would be nice. I don't care about Taylor Swift. Yeah, patching everything. That's why, as people say, don't buy a new game in day one. Wait 2, 3 weeks. Well, you know what? I could pop these games in; they'll work fine. So there you go. Which movie did not deserve to have a sequel? I don't know. It's hard to think of this stuff up top of my head. If they remade a bad movie, would the remake be better? Not always. They remade Cabin Fever, and that wasn't better. Speed, yeah, that's true. Speed didn't need a sequel. I'll give you that. Yeah, Speed didn't need a sequel. That's true. Well, frame by frame, I don't know why you need to defend the game companies. I mean, they. I mean, I'm sorry, game companies don't really care about you guys. So, like, Callisto Protocol should not have been released in that status to have that many updates. It killed that game. On the flip side, Spider-Man, worked well when I played that for PS4. I didn't need 18 updates. So, you know, we care a lot. Yeah. It's a dirty job, but someone's gotta do it. Yeah, apparently this new Twister is a sequel. Apparently. That's what I heard. It's a sequel. That's why it's called Twisters. Like aliens. But I don't know, maybe it will be a reboot. I don't care what it is. It's gonna suck either way. I didn't see the trailer because what the hell am I gonna get out of it? Pissed? Great. I'm gonna watch it so I could be pissed. Yeah, I don't think so. No, if Dune 2 flops, it's not going to be because of Coyote versus Acme. No. I don't watch new trailers, DJ. Gina Carano is suing Disney. Thank God. Congrats to Elon Musk. Because Elon Musk, who owns Twitter, X, whatever, is helping Gina Carano sue the hell out of Disney for her getting fired off The Mandalorian. So she put a lawsuit against Disney. Thank God for that. So thank you, Bobby. You guys are the most badass YouTubers. The way you guys handled the trolls, some YouTubers would cry, be upset easily. You guys laugh at their faces. Well, I mean, yeah, because I can still shut off my computer and enjoy my day. So that's what people have to realize is that the internet is not real life. You just shut off your computer and enjoy the day.
Hey there. Um, Hopefully you can hear me
I
okay.
didn't see your message. So, Madam Web, someone dies from Pepsi,
Yeah.
a Pepsi sign.
Yeah. I couldn't believe what I was seeing with this movie. Um, there's so much rampant Pepsi product placement in this film. It's absurd. It's absolutely insane. Um, early on in the movie, there are multiple shots that are just clearly showing Mountain Dew Code Red cans, and
Evil Pepsi.
the
Always
finale.
evil Pepsi.
Spoilers for those of you who, I guess, haven't seen Madam Web yet. Um, the villain Ezekiel Sims, he gets defeated and ultimately killed by the P in a Pepsi Cola sign on top of a warehouse. I'm not making
It
this shit
falls on
up.
him.
It falls on him.
That's why you should have had this instead. Would have
No,
lived.
right? Yeah,
Should have been Mel Yellowstone. You would have lived.
exactly, exactly.
So, okay, since you've seen it,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen a lot of bad superhero films. Me more than you, because I know you. There's a lot you haven't caught up in
Yeah,
recent Marvel.
yeah, yeah. Um,
So, what?
Morbius was one of the worst that I had seen in recent memory until I saw Madam Web, and you know, it has something in common with Morbius, not just because there's more bullshit, but because the same writers wrote this crap. I'm like, how the hell did these writers still get a job after that? The movie didn't do well. It was a bomb. It didn't do well critically. The writers haven't really written anything that was remotely considered that great. They did a story treatment for the Power Rangers reboot, and then they did Morbius, and now they did this. Like, I hope they're stuck on the unemployment line for good because they shouldn't be
So,
writing
someone has.
anything.
Someone has a quick question for you. What do you think of the qualification of the person they chose to direct? I don't
So
even know who directed it.
it's some guy named DJ or CJ or something. I don't. I'm not familiar with.
DJ Donnelly, DJ,
No,
you're in the chat. Did you direct this? This is your fault.
the direction actually I thought wasn't really that bad. Like it wasn't the problem for me. Like visually, it had some all right direction in terms of flipping the camera around, doing some movement with it. There were some slick looking shots at times. I still don't think it's a film that benefits a lot from IMAX. Definitely a waste of $7. But directing wise, I don't really think it was that bad. So I don't think that's the problem. The problem is the writing. It's the script. It's the performances by the cast. The guy who plays Ezekiel Sims is Walmart brand Adam Driver with over half his dialogue dubbed in ADR. I'm not kidding. It literally sounds like he was just dubbed in ADR for like 80 to 90% of his dialogue. Or he's just that bad of an actor that he sounds like he was dubbed in ADR.
And yeah, I think you reviewed the Beekeeper, right? Someone was asking
Yes.
you uploaded
Yeah.
a review. Yeah, you
Yeah.
uploaded a
That
review.
was a fun one. I didn't mind it. It's not great. I would say so far out of all the films that I've seen, because I've seen more movies in the theater this year so far than I've seen in years, because I have more free time and I'm devoting more time to it. And I mean, I haven't seen a great film yet. I mean, I like Lisa Frankenstein. I just uploaded a review of that, but it's kind of the same sort of vein as The Beekeeper, like above average, enjoyable, fun, but flawed, not the best writing at times. Doesn't get the full usage of its concept. But I mean, I watch pretty much anything else that I've seen this year, including like older movies. Like I watched Mission to Moscow, Police Academy 7 last night. And honestly, I'd rather watch that again than Madam Web.
Then real quick, like, thank you, Bobby. He has a question. What he's saying is, what are some news or movie news that you thought was a joke or a meme, but you turned out that it's really happening,
Oh,
like throughout the years?
in terms of like an actual movie that I thought,
Yeah,
oh,
like you
that's
you heard some movie news or movies coming
mm,
out, and you're like, nah, they're not really doing that. I can name a couple. Uh, the fact that it was called Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, I thought
yeah,
that was a joke
yeah.
because I'm like, those are the real titles, and they were. Uh,
To
Hey
be
there, sweet
honest,
persuade.
Madam Web, I
Yeah.
initially thought was like just some kind of, random sort of, prank to be like, oh, Sony's gonna make a Madam Web movie. They'll just pick some obscure Spider-Man character out of their behind and just decided to say that, oh, this is gonna be their next film after, the Venom sequels is a Madam Web movie when it was first announced, and then I was like, "Wait, no, this is real? They're actually doing a Madam Web movie? Why?" So I would say that's kind of one of them, really, because I'm still surprised at this point with these Sony Spider-Man spinoff films, especially after seeing Madam Web and Morbius. Are they just using these as money laundering schemes? I mean, because I can't think of any other reason. Because they're not making money in the box office and they're not doing well critically.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they keep making these films. They're not doing well.
Yeah.
They're flopping. They're not critically acclaimed. Uh,
And Madam Web,
they
it's
think
not even woke either. So it's not bad in that way where, oh, it's woke, it's shoving a message down your throat. It's just unbelievably boring. I swear the two guys who were sitting up front in the seats ahead of me, I think they fell asleep like multiple times throughout the movie. There's this one guy, like I was just looking down and I saw him just like this. And I was like, yeah, well, I don't blame you, man, because there's so many stretches in this film where next to nothing is happening except uh, dialogue that tries to be funny but isn't. A lot of
so. There's no reference to
exposition.
Spider-Man.
No, there's a guy who climbs on walls, and people act as if they've never seen that before, and so they just call him Ceiling Guy.
When is this supposed to take place?
2003. Now, I read something that it was supposed to take place in the 90s, which is why you hear some 90s songs and see Dakota Johnson's character watching a Scrooge movie on VHS on a tube television in one scene. But it was then changed pretty last minute to 2003 for whatever reason. Um, if it was switched to the 90s, it still would have played out and felt like a early 2000s movie. In
So in this
the
universe, Spider-Man hasn't might not
I
have
guess
been
so.
born yet. I
Not
guess.
born yet, doesn't exist. I don't know.
I guess is that the only reason they did that? Because they'd be asking where the hell is Spider-Man? I guess. Hey Nippy, hey everyone in the chat. So other than being boring, what would you say is the other worst thing about the film?
The characters. I mean, the characters are just awful. Like the villain is one of the most forgettable villains you will ever see in anything. Not only is his motivations lame, like it's not even like something where the stakes are high. It's only high for him. And then you find out later that this vision that he was having, that he's trying to stop, which is his own death, it's not even actually how it was going to play out anyway. He was just having the wrong vision the entire time, which makes everything involving his arc just kind of pointless in the first place. Because this whole thing is about I'm seeing the future, I'm seeing my death, and I get killed by these three women, these spider women, and I need to kill these women when they're teenagers before they get powers, so then I can live. But it's like a fake vision or something. It's never really explained because there's just a line of dialogue later where Madam Web herself, Cassandra Webb, is like, "They were never the ones that were going to kill you. I was," and you're like, "Oh, okay, all right."
Okay.
And he has a
Ah,
ability to like climb walls and stuff, and he has agility, and he has this like poison touch. Almost like, when Poison Ivy would kiss somebody in Batman and Robin,
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Touch the balls and the balls fall off.
No, no, it's not that graphic. The veins get black and everything, and the people get poisoned. and paralyzed. And it's just there's just the
Seems
characters
like to be
suck.
less boring, he should have like
Yeah,
had so their balls fall off.
yeah.
You know,
He also takes advantage of some kind of tech that the police have for whatever reason that seems like not even something that was even a thing in 2003. It's so
I thought you were gonna say
advanced.
he takes advantage of the three women. Okay,
No,
that'd be a different movie.
no. It's some kind of technology that, like the enemy of the state kind of stuff, where anywhere you go, you
Hmm.
can hack into a security camera and do all that. And I'm like, it's 2003. Like, I don't think that was really that advanced then. But they're like, who cares? It's a comic book film. It's Madam Web. Who gives a shit? And he's
So
using that to track these women down, and the Madam Web herself has these random visions now, all out of nowhere. Like apparently she had these abilities because her origin is that her mom was bit by this spider and gave her some powers when she was still in her mom's womb before her mom died, and she doesn't really start to have any sort of inkling of these powers until it's convenient for the film's plot. Like she's a grown woman, and then all of the sudden, randomly, now she's having these moments where she's seeing the future. And
so
I'm
the
like,
dead spider zone.
yeah, I'm like, why the hell didn't she have this ability like when she was a kid? Like, why is this all of a sudden like just 30 something years old and now I'm having future visions. Okay. All
Well,
right.
it's like menopause. It only happens at a certain time. It's that time of the month. Yeah, wait for that time of the
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the bleeding
Mike
comes
Epps
the
is also
believing.
in this. Mike Epps is in this for like 2 minutes.
Does he hit someone and go GTA, motherfucker?
No, I wish. He plays this
Like Resident
guy.
Evil?
I think he's like the head of the paramedic unit or something that Dakota's character is working for. And of course he dies. Because we can't have Mike Epps, we can't have nice things. So
So someone's asking Julia Carpenter, how was she in the film?
not great. Sydney Sweeney is easy on the eyes, but it's not the best performance, and it's not like she really does much of anything. Like if you're a fan of these Spider Women characters, like you just see them as teenagers, just bickering at one another and being annoying, like you're trapped in a Nickelodeon sitcom for 2 hours for the most part, other than like a couple moments that you see from the future when they're heroes, but they have no real connection to the plot or the story other than just being there for fan service.
Mm. And we're talking like I lived in one's asking. I've heard that it was a
I saw
bad
it. It
Super
was
Bowl
fucking
spot.
awful. I hated it. And all the comments were like praising it, talking about how funny it was. It was great. Man, it was another one of those things where Arnold is just making fun of himself in terms of his accent. So the whole thing is like he can't say neighbor. So it's like
Yeah.
a good neighbor. State Farm is there, and neighbor. And that's the whole bit. There's even a scene where he parachutes into a field of sheep, and he's like a good neighbor. And then the director's like, cut, and then he was like, that wasn't me, that was the sheep. It's
Well,
just like,
thank God there's no G's in there.
yeah,
You'll
yeah, I
figure it
know,
out.
yeah,
Don't say it. You'll figure it out.
and
They
and
freeway try to say there's no G's in there.
that's actually not the first time I heard that joke because I think somebody made that joke in the comment section.
Oh,
But
okay.
there's a cameo from Danny DeVito at the end where he basically the joke is that he replaces Arnold at the end of the ad because he can't say neighbor. So you have Arnold go like a good, and then Danny DeVito's character will pop in and be like neighbor. Yeah, and then they're watching the ad and they're sniping at each other. So it was kind of fun to see those two together again, but other than that,
Well,
that
there you
ad
go.
sucked.
There's your twin sequel. Be
And of
better.
course, there's a
I
bit
mean,
where
I
he
mean,
says, "Get to the." They say, "Get to the chopper," or he says, "Get to the
of
chopper,"
course,
and then someone's like, "It's chopper," and then the director's like, "Stop!" Like, no, don't do it, don't do that. And I'm like, you should
that
have just not done
figures.
this anyway. Like, this was as cringe
Another
as that
chopper joke.
bread ad that Stallone did. Remember that? Remember that advertising that Stallone did for bread for like the
No, I didn't
UK
see
or
that
some
one.
shit? Yeah.
And Bronson, yeah, happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Don't spend it
Hope
watching
everyone's doing
Madam
okay.
Web. Trust me.
uh, I would, I'll give the spot a look to see how I feel about it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm tired of the get to the chopper jokes.
I'm
You
just
don't
tired of
need to ever
Arnold
have those type of
doing the whole like I'm making fun of myself in that way because it's lazy and he's done that numerous times already in terms of his accent.
bro. But hey there, people. Dark Metal Spider, hello there. And was it Aragorn? And the split second Carl Weathers tribute was the only good thing about the Super Bowl commercials. Well, they did a tribute, but it was
Yeah,
split
he
second.
yeah, he was actually in it was like a football ad or something and then I think they just turned it into like a tribute for him, which was nice. It was nice to see.
And hey there, Neo Punk. I didn't see the. I don't really watch much trailers. Mike did a video talking about trailers, including
Mhm.
Deadpool. I know
Deadpool
you were
Wolverine.
mixed on it.
Yeah, I'm
You weren't
underwhelmed by
really
that
big on it.
trailer. I know a lot of people love that trailer. They think it's amazing. It's great. It's got like 12 million views that like broke records for YouTube.
Right.
But I just I wasn't feeling it. The vibe just felt off.
Mm.
Because it's Disney and them doing Deadpool, and I think the rumor is it's going to be Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, but I don't think that they're going to commit fully to that because it's Kevin Feige and Marvel and Disney. So I'm afraid what you're going to get is some half-ass version of that where he can only kill the Fox versions of these Marvel
Mm.
characters, and the Disney ones are off limits. And so you're going to have this sort of half-ass sort of screenplay and
But
plot
here's the
where
thing:
Deadpool
you
is
could
kind of
do.
he's taking shots at Disney, but there are certain limitations. And you can't have limitations with Deadpool. That's what I'm worried about. Because you can't there can't be any limits. Because that's part of the point of it.
Mm. Yeah, like I said I don't know. I don't really watch much new trailers.
The action looks
Uh,
okay, and it is gonna be R-rated, which, I do appreciate, but I'm still kinda leery about that because Disney just doesn't have a lot of experience, especially with their, Marvel, with their MCU right now. Like, what is their experience with an R-rated film in the MCU? They don't have any. So and Sean
the
Levy, I
bl-
don't know about him as doing R-rated content because that's not really his
mm.
comfort zone either. And the jokes like I'm Marvel Jesus, like people love that line, and I'm like, I thought it was dumb. There's a whole scene where Deadpool salutes Captain America, and that gave me weird vibes because I'm like, okay, well, so you're gonna take shots at Disney and the MCU, but you're also gonna glad hand them and give them a hand job. It's like you can't do both. You can't be like, "Oh, the MCU is so awesome. Deadpool saluting Captain
Yeah, but
America."
I can understand that because Captain America were the only movies worth a shit. They're
Yeah,
some of
but
the
I'm
only
just
movies worth a shit.
but
So
you see what I'm getting at though. It's like you can't be like, "Oh yeah, let's salute Captain America," but then we'll take some shots here and there.
we'll
It's
take
just
shots
kind
on the
of
shitty characters like
that's what I'm
Captain
hoping they
Marvel.
do. That's what I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping you have like a transition. Like if the film does this, this would be brilliant, really funny. If it Deadpool's
Yeah,
watching the clips of like the greatest hits of the MCU, the Avengers, Captain America, he's saluting Cap and everything, and then they
yeah,
show current Marvel. You got She-Hulk twerking, you got MODOK, you got all of this other like just awful stuff and then
If they if they
you
had
have Deadpool like riff on that and be
if
like,
they
"What
had the
the hell
smarts
happened?"
to do that, but yeah,
Yeah,
I just see your doubts on that doing it. I doubt that would happen.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they'll commit fully to it, and that worries me because Kevin Feige is very protective of the MCU, and
Isn't
I
the
don't
last name
know
Feige?
Feige. Yeah, it could be, but
Kevin
I don't
Feige.
know. Kevin Feige, Phage, whatever. Um, but yeah,
If
it's
the film
just
sucks, it's gonna be Kevin Fascist. I I did like Iron Man: The Incredible Hulk. I meant that Captain America as a franchise is one of the only franchises where they were all, in my opinion, good. Because Iron
yeah for the
Man was good, but I didn't
MCU.
like Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
I don't mind The Incredible Hulk, but I didn't really get a franchise.
no,
And then they made him into a joke as a character. But Captain America, they kind of, other than him quitting, I guess, and getting old, I'm too old for this shit. Which you haven't seen that movie yet, but
I know
you'll have
about
fun
it.
with that.
I know about that moment. Uh, the action in Madam Web. What action? You saw the action in the trailer. That's basically what you get with Madam Web.
Really.
Really?
There was like, from what I vaguely remember seeing the trail a long time ago, there's like a car chase and
Yes.
then someone in a cafe.
Yeah. In a diner. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
There's a
like the
bit.
ending with the
There's some.
Pepsi.
Yeah. There's some explosions, some fireworks at the end. But other than that, those kind of bits, you really didn't see that much new that you
Hmm.
didn't already see in the trailer. So there's not
Do
much
they do a
action.
lot in their suits and powers? Like, do they
No,
do a lot? Like, save people?
like I said, a lot of that stuff is just visions by the villain, or just some stuff near the end where Madam Web is like having a future vision of what they're gonna do in the future. That's it. Other than that, it's like a boring version of Next. Where I can predict what's gonna happen. You know,
So, but when they suit up, is that at the end that they
that's
suit
it.
up
They
to
don't
fight the?
actually. It's all just future visions, Matt. Like you never actually see them suit up. They don't get their powers yet. It's all
Wait a
just
minute,
in the
wait a minute.
future.
So, in the current time, they never wear their costumes,
No, not
even at the
once.
end fight.
No, not once, except the bad guy. The bad guy has a costume. That's it.
So, so in the marketing, that was all
Uh huh.
the visions to trick people into seeing it.
Yeah.
You don't see these failures. Hey, John, hope you're doing well, man. Why don't these action legends not do podcasts and talk about their movies? People would listen, or do they not understand the podcast world appeal? I just mean like Stallone. So, I mean, that'd be a cool podcast, I guess. Like Scott Atkins does, of course. He has
I
the art
think
of action.
I don't know how long this would last, but if you had a podcast with Stallone and Schwarzenegger, that could be amazing. Just having the two of them just, reminisce or talk about, random topics and stuff, with their whole sort of competitive nature. Like it might not last very long, but for the few episodes for however long it does last, that could be a really fun podcast. But I don't think it's in their I wouldn't say wheelhouse, but I think it's just one of those things that they don't want to spend the time with the advertising and doing all this other stuff. I think they just want to, focus on either their families or, just taking a brief role here and there for a paycheck. I don't think they really want to commit to something like that. I think that's the reason why. I don't think it's that they're lazy. I think it's just that they're older now, and they just don't really want to
Just not used to it, that
yeah, they're
type of
not used
thing.
to it as well too. They're not, Stallone though does social media. So I think he's somebody that could potentially move in that direction. Schwarzenegger does a little bit of that too, but I think Stallone is definitely is on Instagram and all this other stuff. Um and honestly, the other reason why is I think some of them aren't ever asked. Like they and some of them I don't
Mhm.
think they're necessarily aware that there would be anyone that would really want to listen like Jeff Speakman or some of these other lesser known action stars. Because in the case of Chuck Norris, I
Yeah.
think a lot of times like I don't even think he's been asked to do stuff and from what I've been reading. And like he would do it or Van Damme, like Van Damme would do more interviews. He would probably talk more if somebody, would, put in the the effort and put in the finances to, do an interview and everything. But, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, let's look at each of these action stars. Chuck Norris, he's fairly in his old age.
Yes.
I think he's just fine being retired. Be
Exactly.
great to hear about movies, but he never does interviews.
Mhm.
It'd be great to hear, but you never see him in interviews, and it's assumed that he just always says no for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
So if he's not willing to do interviews, I doubt he would do a podcast.
Exactly.
Arnold and Sly, I think honestly, they are still holding on to making movies or TV shows.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think in a way they feel they're above doing a podcast that's beneath
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
And I feel like they still because they still want to be out
Yeah.
on the screen, even in their golden years.
Yeah. I mean,
Stallone,
Stallone, he still charges people like hundreds of dollars for, autographs. And there's that whole evening with Stallone thing that was like thousands of dollars just to attend. So, yeah, I can see that. That their mindset
Van
is,
Damme, as much as that Van Damme, he's not a big talker.
mhm,
He's just not. He still have a tough time with the English language, which I get because he's from
yeah.
Belgium. But I don't think he would work well hosting a podcast.
No, maybe being a co host, that could work, depending on who the co host is.
But he does seem awkward in interviews,
Yes. Yeah.
and I think maybe it's just he's just not used to it. As much as like the guy, and like being like Gary Daniels, Just Beepin, I enjoy their stuff, but I think in that point they're never asked about
Yeah.
those, and they feel, maybe they would think, well, nobody would care enough,
Yeah.
not enough people would care to make it a financially viable situation.
Mhm.
Because I'm sure like Just Beepman, he teaches tempo and whatever Gary Daniels, Jeff Wincott, whatever they're doing,
Yeah.
unless they're retired.
Or
So I
Olivier
think that's
Gruner,
why.
yeah.
Bronson, nope, I've never seen that movie,
Nope,
Valentine's
never going
Day.
to. I'm not a rom-com guy. There's very few of them that I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, there's some I don't mind, but I don't really gravitate towards those
Yeah,
films
no,
on
it's not.
purpose.
It's not my cup of tea, not my favorite genre.
And hey there, J Rob, Anime, Tam, Kevin Wood. Hello there.
Speaking of anime, I don't know if you heard about this, Matt. There's this controversy with Funimation right now where Crunchyroll was a streaming service or still was a streaming service, but I don't know how much longer it's going to be a streaming service.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah, that's the name of it, Crunchyroll. And it
Fuck
was
is
a stream
that for a name? Like a Tootsie Roll or
I
a
think it might
cereal? It
be
sounds like a shitty cereal.
I know. I think Crunchyroll
Crunchyroll.
might be like a reference to like some kind of Japanese, food or something.
He's gonna eat his asshole and it's crunchy. There's peanut butter in it. There's a Crunchyroll. Coming soon to Pornhub. Boom,
but
boom, boom, boom.
but Crunchyroll they changed their yearly subscription from like I think it was $40 to $50 to 100, and a lot of people are not happy about that. And to make matters worse, they essentially have taken away access for a lot of people's digital copies of these shows that they purchased through the platform. They're just
So
being
they
like,
bought them
mm-hmm,
and they don't have them anymore.
exactly. So that's the controversy right now in for a lot of people in the anime community is like screw
Well,
Crunchyroll, screw Funimation.
that does suck, but at the same time, that's with every digital thing where you never you're renting it. We've talked about that before in other stuff,
Yeah,
even
I know.
with other stuff like
But I
digital
do
is just
think
a glorified rental.
yes, but that's awful though. Like that's just terrible
Yeah, it is.
business practice because I think there is a clear way where you can still make it so you have a copy of it, even if it's
Yeah,
no longer available to buy. Like for instance, I still have a digital copy of Let's Get Harry that I bought off of Amazon over 10 years ago. So it's still in my Amazon account.
yeah, but
And
Amazon is definitely a bigger organization,
yeah,
so they're
yeah,
more lenient on that
exactly.
compared to these
But
crunchy rolls.
I think, if you're still, I mean, Crunchyroll, Funimation, they've been around for a long time. They've made a decent amount of bank. They can probably afford that too. They just don't want to do it. And so they just basically just said, too bad, so sad. You don't have it anymore. And understandably, people are upset. And I get it. But this is also something that really does showcase the importance of physical media. If you like a show enough, if you like an anime enough, you like a film enough, get it on physical media. Then you don't ever have to worry about this scenario because you actually
Or,
own it.
yeah, physical media. I mean, sadly, there's a lot of stuff that still doesn't have a release, so there's no
Exactly.
way to do even that.
Some of it is
And then
piracy. Like you just don't have another option. Like there were some shows that streamed, like some animated shows, like I think Final Space is one of them, and some other shows that Infinity Train. They were Cartoon Network
that's
shows, and as soon
that's
as
why
like
people.
Zaslav and Warner Brothers bought the company and they started a fire sale, those shows just disappeared completely. And so the only way to get them is through pirate
Yeah,
sources.
that's why you have to do it at times. I mean, as much as people get mad about it, you're not giving people the option. And then this stuff happens. Like those people at
Hmm.
the Crunchyroll, which I guess someone mentioned is a sushi, so
Yeah.
that's why it's called that. They bought into doing it a legitimate way. I bought the digital, it went to this platform. Now you took it away. Now you're just pretty much telling them, you know what, you should just pirate the shit.
Yep.
Because that way you would still have it and you would not have had to pay the money.
Hmm.
So you just said, hey, I supported you. You told me to go fuck myself. And oh, well, how is that not going to lead people to pirate even more?
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single one of those people would be like, well, screw this. I'm never buying again. I'm not getting screwed over like this again. I'm just going to pirate all this stuff and download it.
Yeah.
And if it gets messed up, you find somewhere else to download it.
Yep.
So you sound like that promo that jumping Jeff Farmer. Yep.
Yep.
Moxley Cruz. Yep. Uh, but thank you, Bobby. If they made Destroy All Monsters movie, one of the monsters or humans said, "We can't beat this big motherfucker." Well, they're doing. It looks like they're doing that with the new Godzilla Kong movie because Kong
Yeah.
has that big fist. He gonna fist fuck someone, and now he got Godzilla needs to get his help to fight some other big ape bitch.
Did Godzilla get fist fucked and that's why he's pink now?
I don't know why he's purple. He's the purple people eater. I don't know.
Okay.
He's pink purple. I don't. Was he in the previous film? I don't
Yeah,
think so.
I don't think so. It's just some kind of energy thing or something.
But I was purple people eater. I, I don't look forward to that film. I mean, you like Godzilla vs Kong more than
Yes.
me.
Yes, it
So
was
how do
a
you feel about the new
big,
one?
dumb, sort of fun movie for me. The trailers for the new
Yeah,
one haven't really done a whole lot for me though, but I'll still see it. I'm
yeah.
seeing almost everything. Like there are some things that I'm like, no. Like there's this movie with that's one of the Coen brothers is doing, and it's about these two girls who are. It's called Drive Away Dolls, and these two girls that find a suitcase, and it's a crime comedy. It looks like the kind of film that would be made by somebody trying to rip off the Coen brothers. It's pathetic and it's sad. You're like, why is Ethan Cohen involved with it? What is happening? Like now you're just doing a movie that is like a knockoff of your own movies. Like at that point, just retire.
Oh,
Seriously.
you want to see something funnier? Look up Sasquatch Sunset.
I saw a screenshot of that, but I didn't watch the trailer.
That was being like advertised. It was like an ad,
I think it's Michael Cera,
and
right?
no, Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg.
The
Sorry, I get
other,
the two. They are
the
so
the other Michael Cera.
alike. Yeah, the other Michael Cera, exactly.
They didn't talk, but the first scene is them fucking. But then it's also like produced by Ari Aster,
Oh my god, airy
and
asshole. Okay.
it's like trying to be like pretentious, like they're looking at the animals and maybe there's no dialogue.
Are you
And
kidding me?
I would see
Wow.
Chuck. I would love when you watch the trailer. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'll put it that way. And there's like looking at the animals, and they do all these like rituals with each other. So it's like trying to be like a very emotional, potent, I guess, drama with Sasquatch.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
You get more genuine emotion from Harry and the Hendersons. That's what it sounds like.
and yeah, Ari Aster I think is just producing, but it seems like his wheelhouse anyway. I'm not a fan of his fucking shit.
Airy asshole. That's what I'm gonna call him now.
Preston, I would love to have seen I Am Legend in the '90s with Arnold.
Yeah, that would have been really
I saw
cool.
the effects.
Ridley Scott was,
I
I
forget
think, gonna
who
direct it.
I forgot who was going to do the effects because they showed. I thought they showed
Uh,
pictures.
I have some
Stan
pictures of it
Winston.
in yeah, I think it was Stan Winston. I think that's who it was. I have some pictures of those effects in my in a one of my special effects books.
So yeah, well, that would have been cool to see. Hi there, Julie. Hope you're doing well. Of course, you recently did about the trailers coming out. What
Yes.
one impressed you the most? If not impressed, but you gave you the most positive, if any.
It's still the Fall Guy. It was like a short trailer. It was like a minute. They were like, "This movie has everything," and it just looked like a blast. Like I really like Ryan Gosling. I really warmed up to him recently. I think he's really starting to hit his stride, and I love Emily Blunt, and the two of them together. It looks like they're gonna create some genuine sparks and just some great chemistry. It's
Cool.
tongue in cheek, and but in a way where it's not pretentious. It's still just very fun and loose, and looks like it has some genuinely fun lines of dialogue and some good action. And yeah, it is another take on something that already exists, but the Fall Guy show is something that's kind of been relatively forgotten about, other than like the people who were fans of the show back in the day when it aired. So I'm okay with a Fall Guy movie. Like that's something, that still is a little unique compared to some of the other
I
reboots
mean,
or, sequels or stuff like that, like Twisters.
I didn't see the Fall Guy trailer only because trailers give away so much. If I
Mhm.
do see the film and I'm intrigued by the film, I'd rather see
Yeah.
it blank.
Yeah.
But I heard the music that was used for it, the take
Mhm.
on what was the song for 80s song that they used in the trailer
Oh, I
for the Fall
forgot. I
Guy.
forgot which one was they used in
Was it
the
Guns N' Roses or
Yeah,
Bon
maybe or
Jovi?
something. Yeah, it was a Bon Jovi
Bon
song.
Jovi.
Yeah.
Which I like that rendition. I like Ryan Gosling. I like
Shot
who's
Through
the
the Heart,
lady in
I
it?
think, might have been. Emily Blunt.
Yeah, I like her from Edge of Tomorrow. So that looks cool. Looks cool.
To be
It
honest,
sounds cool.
that short TV spot had more Deadpool energy to me than the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, which
You
is
deal love a bad name. That's what it is. You
you
deal
could love a bad
love a
game.
bad name.
Yeah.
And thank you. Whoops, it skipped. Sorry. I was looking through here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dolph Goldust. Speaking of Ari Aster, would you agree Hereditary is one of the most miserable horror movies ever? I don't know about ever, but
It's
past 10
it's
years,
it's pretty bad. It's definitely one of the most overrated horror movies ever. Like Midsommar and The Witch, all from A24, at least to me personally. I would say
I agree.
out of the Ari Aster, the Ari asshole films that I've seen, Um, I would say Midsummer is worse than Hereditary, but it's still Hereditary is still pretty bad with Jughead and his
It,
Burger King crown at the end. And
exactly.
it's just one of the worst horror films in terms of building palpable suspense because of the way that the character is written, the son, he's written in such an unlikable fashion, and there's no sympathy for this guy whatsoever, and it's on purpose
Mhm.
because that's so he can get possessed. But because of that, there's no suspense. So when you get to the finale and the climax and he's being stalked, you don't give a shit. You don't care if he gets possessed. You don't care if he dies. So it's just a slog and it's boring as
Yeah.
hell. There's no suspense. There's no tension.
Did he do that new one? It's funny, I reviewed it too. I forgot it. The one with Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't remember that.
The Bo is Afraid. Did he do Bo is Afraid?
Oh,
Yes, he
Ari
did.
Aster, Ari Asshole. Yeah, he did
Yeah.
do that one. I thought you were talking about the actor who played the son character in Hereditary.
No, the I was thinking Ari Aster, and that's probably still the
Mm-hmm.
worst one I saw. Unless you like seeing 2.5 hours of a guy being depressed and then a
Monster.
giant dick in an attic comes up to attack him. That is so up its own. That is so pretentious. It is so pretentious. Darren Roberts, they did do a Chips movie. They
That
they
one
did.
was I didn't hate it, but it was pretty
Right.
generic. It definitely was generic. I like
Oh yeah,
Dax
and fuck
Shepard in
Ari
it.
Aster.
I like Dax Shepard in it. I think that's his name. Um, Michael Pena was the other guy.
Yeah.
There were some pretty decent motorcycle action bits, but honestly, I've kind of put that on the same level as something like Let's Be Cops with Jake Johnson. Those are kind of the same sort
Mm.
of like watchable, but like no, not anything great. Um, Speed of cops though, and
And
cop movies, I just finished the
yeah,
Police Academy marathon. Um, I don't want to watch any Police Academy films again for a long time after this. like I'm totally done with Police Academy. I don't want to watch the TV
I like the
show.
first four.
I don't want to watch the cartoon.
I like the
Um,
first four.
yeah, I'm in the same boat, really. Um, the first one is my personal favorite. I really like the first one. The podium joke is still one of the funniest things ever. Like just because of George Gaines and how he just handles the whole fellatio sequence. Um, Steve Gutenberg is just really fun in the role as Mahoney, and it's just a great cast, just full of likable and fun characters. The second one I don't like as much, but it's decent. It's okay. The third film I think is a step up from the second one. I think it's a little underrated. The third film gets a lot of flack. Um, it got bad reviews, but then again, so did pretty much all of them. Like Roger Ebert gave the
They
first
all
film
got bad
0
reviews.
stars. He gave it 0 stars. Said there was not a single thing about it that was funny. I like Brian Tochi. It was cool to see Brian Tochi in the third one. It was fun to see
Yeah,
him work alongside Michael Winslow in a couple action bits.
the
And I
third
like
is my
the
favorite.
yeah, I
Third is
like
my
the
favorite.
jet ski chase at the end of the third one. The fourth one, I had some fun with that. I had some good stunt work in the end with the planes and the hot air balloons. Uh, in the third and the fourth ones, Bobcat Goldthwait's character becomes a cop, and I honestly get a kick out of his character when he's a member of the academy and antagonizing Tim Kaczynski's character, Sweet Chuck. The two of them are actually a pretty fun pair, and Citizens on Patrol, like it's one of those like you watch it and you're just kind of like David Spade as a skateboard
Yeah,
cop,
very, very
like
early role. Yeah,
I mean as a skater punk, like what kind of casting is that? And then there's all these skateboarders that were stunt doubles, like skate doubles, and one of them is Tony Hawk. I think he doubled David Spade's character in Citizens on Patrol. Uh,
probably. Yeah,
Assignment Miami Beach. That's the first like really bad one for me. Like that is like
yeah.
if there was a Police Academy TV show in the late '80s, like this would be like a lame, forgettable, average episode of like a really just lazy cash-in show. Most of it is just the cast goofing off on the beach, and it's not funny, and it's not really anything you haven't seen a million times before. Predictable, like the
And
whole
part
bit with
six, you liked more than me.
yeah,
I
the whole bit
hated
with
that one.
Tackleberry and the shark. The Jaws parody. Like as soon as I saw it, that was on the beach, I was like, "There's gonna be a Jaws parody, isn't there?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, all right."
Yeah, of course.
I like the scene at the shooting range with Tackleberry and Leslie Easterbrook's character. Where he's like, "Can I take? I want to take these home." And it's like, "No, no, 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 no! You can't have those guns, Tackleberry. We'll get some when you get home." But yeah, that was pretty bad. 6 is not great. I did like it more than 5, but only barely, mainly because I didn't mind the whole like Mr. Big thing, like in terms of who that guy is, although it was very predictable after a certain
That was
point.
so annoying.
Yeah, that guy
So,
was terrible. The
it
mayor
annoyed
guy.
me.
Yeah. And
See, that one seemed like a TV episode to me. That one
yeah, yeah.
seemed like a bad TV episode of Dragnet or some shit. Fucking,
They made a spin-off of the Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd show.
it would be
Movie. They
that
made that a
shitty
Dragnet
movie.
show. It would be Police Academy 6. I could see that. I like the bit with the monster truck at the end with uh, the chase with the monster truck and the cherry picker, and I like the bit with Michael Winslow where he's a robot. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, a lot of that is pretty lame and forgettable. And 7 is the worst. Like, why was this made? Like, they were already at the point of diminishing returns and running out of ideas and barely stringing together a plot for an hour and 20
They were
minutes.
running out of people too.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
barely any of them. They were cheaped out, and either they didn't want to pay most of them,
Yeah. And they
so
didn't
a few
ask
of them.
them. They weren't asked. Like, the actress who played Hooks, I don't think she was asked to do
No,
that
she was
one. And so Bubba Smith
no.
was like, peace. I'm not doing it then if you're not going to ask her.
Yeah,
That's bullshit. And good for him. And he didn't have to be in the worst film in the series. Like, you think the
exactly.
humor in part 5 and 6 are bad? Like, oh my lord. Like the jokes in this are just so much worse and so much more lazy.
He heard you talk
Yeah.
about part seven and needed to come for you.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's like, you
Yeah.
talking about Mission to Moscow? Oh, poor you. Pour your mind and your soul and your psyche. Let me come
Yeah.
up and,
Yeah. Ron Perlman as the bad guy. There's this plot about this video game that he created called The Game, and it's like it looks like shit.
inventive.
The game looks terrible. I'm like, how is this game the most popular game ever? Like it looks
Well, it's called the game. How clever
yeah,
could they be?
yeah.
Here's a game. It's called the game. With
And then
David Fincher?
you have Charlie Schlatter, Ferris Bueller himself from that awful TV show. So he's one of the new
Yeah.
cast members. So they're great. I hate that guy.
I liked him in All American Murder. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah.
He was the star of
Yeah,
that
he
with
was pretty
Christopher
good in
Walken.
that. But yeah, Mission to Moscow is really bad in that too, and it just that is just awful. So fucking bad.
And
The
yes,
only
that's the one
reason
where they
why it
moved to
was
Russia.
made, the only reason why it was made is because the producer wanted to shoot in Moscow. He wanted to shoot in Red Square. It was some kind of vanity project bullshit or dream
They didn't work.
opportunity for the producer Paul Maslowski, and he's interviewed
They
on
didn't
the
work.
Blu-ray, and he's still like speaking highly of it, like it's like some big deal, and it was awesome that we got to shoot in Red Square, and the finale of the series is, I got to shoot a film. I got to be a part of a movie where George Gaines was sharing the screen with Christopher Lee, and I'm like, that doesn't really mean a whole lot. Christopher Lee was in The Return of Captain Invincible. He's been in a lot of bad movies, so including
I
Mission to
mean, he might have
Moscow.
enjoyed the experience, but it doesn't mean people enjoy the movie.
Yeah,
And yeah, Bobby, I have seen that, but I don't remember a thing about it for good reason. The
I
hot
like
chick,
body swap movies. It's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. Is the body swap genre, because
there's some good ones. I
you
mean,
don't see them done a whole lot. But
the
this is
one
one of
Vince
the,
Vaughn is pretty
yeah,
good.
Freaky. Yeah, I really like that one. The hot chick though is one of the weaker ones because they do the whole thing where the only time you see the person seeing themselves or seeing them as the other person is in the mirror, and I
Yeah,
never liked that. It's just trying to be like a gag. It's funny because Rob Schneider is like, playing a chick, but you only see that when he looks in the mirror, and I'm just like, I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me. I would rather watch
yeah.
that than the animal though. I will give the hot chick that.
I don't remember much about either one, so call it PTSD or trauma or something. But is
Yeah, they really
Rob
tried to
Schneider
make
is a
right.
hot chick?
They
Rob
tried to make
Schneider is an animal.
yeah, they
Rob
tried to make
Schneider plays a banana.
yeah. They tried to make Rob Schneider a huge mega comedy star, and that didn't
And
pan out.
Rob Schneider is an ice cream cone. Who gives a fuck?
I think Rob Schneider got that break because of Adam Sandler. I think that's the main reason why, because he
Well,
was
yeah, I think he produced some of those
He was
movies
Adam Sandler's
with his company.
buddy.
Of course, no one else would give him a shot for good reason.
Deuce
I mean, he
Bigelow,
was
I
in
don't
Judge
mind.
Dredd. He wasn't
I
that good
don't.
in that.
Oh yeah, he didn't love him in the Mister I Am the Law.
No, and Judge Dredd,
Fergie
no.
played
I'm the
Fergie.
law. Yeah, yelling Dredd every 5 minutes. Dredd more than Shia LaBeouf yells Optimus.
Yeah,
Uh, I have seen the deleted scene. Yeah, what happened to Gilmore? Yeah, I mean, I'm I'm not mad it was taken out, but I mean, it was a funny
yeah.
little scene.
I love Ben
And
Stiller in
Mike
that
has that.
movie. He's so funny in Happy Gilmore. The
You go
whole
to
scene.
sleep, or I will put
Yeah,
you to sleep.
yeah. It
You
was
will
it
go
was
to
like
sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
it was like an extension of his crazy character, his fitness guru character from Heavyweights. It was that same kind of vibe and energy, which I love because Heavyweights
It's sad.
is one of my favorite roles of Ben Stiller.
It's
Hey,
sad to watch Happy Gilmore now because Bob Barker and Carl Weathers have
yeah,
passed away,
yeah.
which is too bad.
I still love that
But it's
movie
still
though.
a
It's
fun movie.
still one
I
of
do.
my all-time favorites. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. It's like, you eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No. um, and of course Ben Stiller, but yeah, just talk about heavyweights again. I just love that scene where he's like, it was like, I think it's like, trying to remember the character's name, but he's like, "Hey, Sean, come on down, get on the scale," and then they do the weigh in, and then it's like he's way overweight. He's like, "Get off the scale." He was just so good at like that, just split second, just going from all happy and whatever to just crazy. Like Ben Stiller was just really
And
really funny in his prime.
He was also asking, have you played the new World Cup game?
No,
I would assume no.
no, not yet. I'm still waiting.
Because a lot of people.
I gotta get a new controller, gotta get the capture card, and I got, you know, a lot of bills I'm trying to pay off right now, so that might be a bit, but you know,
Yeah.
is what it is. I've been cutting back on things. I did do like one pre-order. I got Footloose. I got the 4K of that in the mail today. And I got some other pre-orders that I got through Diableek, but they don't come until March. But yeah, it's just prices. They are going up, and I just, it's getting more
Mm-hmm.
expensive, and I already have so much that I'm picking and choosing.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
get I'll
that's
I'll
what I do.
I'll blind buy more when it's cheaper. Like when it
Of
gets
course.
to like a sale or something like that. But as of right now, like, nah. I'd rather, like I got a new keyboard. It's used, but it's in really good shape, and it's wireless, and it's a Logitech one that I've been wanting. It was significantly cheaper than on Amazon, so I got that coming. It's on its way, and I just upgraded my PC sound system from Facebook Marketplace, a local seller. He had a baby with his wife, and he couldn't use his speaker system anymore because it's too loud. And I picked it up for locally for only like $80, and it works great. So
Hey,
yeah,
CK, I'm just in
hey
here. How you
CK,
doing, man?
yeah, that's
And
true.
100% as a sale is still damn
Yes,
much.
it is. The only time it's worth it is when they do like the thing they do early in the year, or I think another time later in the year where they have select titles like for a certain day are marked down significantly. Other than that, it's not really worth it anymore. Like I didn't even do anything during the last day. I did a pre-order for Fatal Games and for Evil Judgment, but that's the last one I'm doing. Like I don't really care anymore. Like I unless it's something like a movie that I really want on Blu-ray or 4K,
And
and they're not really coming
I
out with a
came,
movie like that right now. So
yeah, I came to that conclusion a long time ago. Unless it's something I absolutely like. Leviathan's a personal favorite of mine. I did pre-order the 4K.
yeah, that's a
That's
part
like
of the
the only thing
Diabolique
I've
order
done
that I
lately.
made.
Uh, they have a 4K editions of a bunch of shit that was in the
Yeah,
588 DVD in
yeah,
Walmart
yeah, yeah,
back in
yeah.
the day.
Well, Scheme Factory does the same shit. I mean, look at the Lost in Space collector's edition. Speaking of 588 in the Walmart bin.
Lost in Space from 1998.
Uh-huh. 1998, I think. Yeah.
Who the hell is going to buy that movie?
I know.
Lost in Space.
Let's
Who the
make
hell likes
unlawful.
that?
I know. Let's make unlawful entry a limited edition, but let's release Lost in Space as a collector's edition. Go figure.
Let's see, Kurt Russell, Ray Liotta, Thriller. Uh, you'd only a couple will be sold. Lost in Space. That's going to be the bigger pusher of movies. Or The Shining. That wasn't limited. That miniseries.
Or the Carrie remake 4K is coming out.
Oh, I'm sure that'll be a great winner. I, I have no idea what the hell they're doing with that. And it's just way too much.
Yeah.
Like everything going up. And it's one of those things that, again, it has to be something I absolutely positively would want.
Honestly, I spent a lot, on my 4K collection as it is right now, but I'm glad I did it when I did because I'm finding less and less places to get these decent deals on 4Ks, and the prices on them are starting to go up, and I'm just glad that I took advantage of the opportunities that I had, because it does seem like, other than maybe a couple shops locally over here, things are drying up. Like I've went to Goodwill, haven't, like, 2 consecutive weeks, didn't find anything. uh Went to FYE because I wanted to cancel the subscription I had with them because it's useless and it cost me way too much every month. And they had less movies in there compared to all this other knickknack stuff. It was like Hot Topic, but with like a few movies, few racks of movies and TV shows and some CDs. And that's what FYE used to be. It used to be like an entertainment, like that's for physical media. But now, no, it's like, and the prices are just awful at FYE. 39.99,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
49.99. Like, give me a freaking break. I'm not paying that.
Well, of course, like, hi, I haven't seen these folks on a base count due to hello there, twice the pride, double the fall. Yeah, and more so. And Slithery D Films. Good evening, fellas. Hope you have a great night. Yeah, haven't seen you on here, but doing well so far. Gray B,
Yeah.
hello there. But yeah, the it's not going to get better. The prices, it's just going to get worse.
No.
And if there are people that like vendor syndrome, if they really don't go buy what the hell are these movies? The Playgirls and the Vampire, Spanish Bloodbath,
Uh-huh.
Herencia de Valentines, whatever the hell.
Uh-huh.
Herencia, Five Car Stud.
Yeah.
The fuck is that movie? Who gives a shit? So, but
It's like I'd rather them
I'm sure.
spend money. Hey, remaster and release that show O'Hara with Pat Morita, which
I
there's an
want, I want,
intro, which I
I
like to
want
call
Gleam in the
Miyagi
Cube.
Vice.
I want Gleam in the Tube.
Yeah, that. Give me that.
Strizzy Slater, Skateboarder, and Murder Mystery. Give me that. Watched Punch Drunk Love recently. Yeah, I enjoy that film.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Go fuck yourself, sir. Did you say go fuck myself? Yes. Yeah. That's a way of showcasing Adam Sandler's anger and an actual sincere, like
Yeah.
serious matter, but also having fun with it. That's a pretty good drama.
Yeah. Anger management, on the other hand,
I like it still. I like anger
yeah.
management. I like both.
Mhm.
I'm glad your sister's doing well, Bobby. I
Good.
know she was in the hospital.
Good.
I know you mentioned in the chat in a message that she got home. I'm glad she's doing well. Because you mentioned in the stream she was not doing the best. I'm glad. See, I'm glad things are doing
Yeah.
well.
I'm I didn't really
So
hear a lot about that, but I'm glad
that
to.
was in. It was in the. He was in the chat in the stream. He mentioned his
Okay.
sister wasn't doing the best. It was
Yeah.
something to do with her late. I forget
Yeah.
exact details, but glad she's doing well, man. Hang in there. Keep it day by day. That's all we can do.
For sure. But yeah,
And yeah,
it's when it comes to physical media, like I think it's one of those things where it'll eventually, especially Blu-ray, 4K, DVD, it'll go the way of VHS, where VHS is right now. Especially the horror VHS tapes. You want a copy of My Bloody Valentine on VHS? Shell out $100. You want the Friday the 13th films? Shell out hundreds of dollars, and
oh,
I can see that happening with these other formats in the future easily.
shout out to real quickly. Shout out to CK. I know you guys at Dip Pit. You're doing some roundtable about the Nightmare on Elm Street films.
Yeah, it's
So
awesome.
very cool. You guys, good luck with that. I know he had asked. It's the fourth anniversary of Nightmare on Elm
Yeah,
Street,
40th. Yep. 1984.
and there's still nothing worth a shit
No, not
on
yet.
release.
I just have a hunch that Warner Brothers will do a 4K this year. They tend to do a lot of anniversary stuff.
Of just the first one, or
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be it. I know people would love to see the announcement from Scream Factory, the box set, but I don't really think that's going to happen. I think it would just, if we get anything Nightmare on Elm Street, it'll just be 4K of the first movie and kind of bare bones features, same stuff as before, but a new transfer, maybe a steel book as well.
yeah.
But
I agree. I don't think anything's going to
because that's
happen.
how they handled Friday the 13th in the 4K, and they still haven't released the second. They haven't released any of the sequels yet. Just the first one.
Yeah, I mean,
And
there's a
that's
lot of
Paramount.
studios that have done. Yeah, there's a lot of studios. I mean, that have had anniversaries of films and nothing was done of them.
Or they do
Whether
something
people
like The Rocketeer and it's crap. It's a lie. Or The
or that
Adventures in
first digital,
Babysitting 15th anniversary edition from Touchstone, and there's no features whatsoever on it. I'm like, why is it called an anniversary edition? There's nothing. Doesn't even have a trailer.
or the first Turtles movie, which is a scratch and sniff
Yep,
bullshit.
that was insulting. Where's that 4K? I want a 4K of the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie.
Don't hold your breath. Aki's, yeah. I'm
Oh,
glad.
yeah,
I'm glad she's doing better though,
yeah,
because
me
that's
too.
definitely some serious stuff. So, but yeah, just keep her. Uh, don't go too much of vigorous activity.
Hmm.
Glad you guys seem like you're taking care of her. That's all. That's the good thing. He's home. You guys take care of her. At least that part's good. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, they're not going to do anything for it, and it's going to pass by. Uh, I know a personal favorite of mine this summer is going to be 25, I think.
Hmm.
And that's the Blair Witch Project,
Okay.
and
I wish they would
I
do something for that.
I heard they are because Eduardo
Okay.
Sanchez. I saw an interview that they're actually something's being worked on.
Cool.
That's going to be a new bells and whistles and a new
Nice.
documentary and all sorts of
Nice. All
stuff.
right. Good.
So
Good.
we'll see. I mean, if the news comes out, it should be I would think in a couple months because I'm
I
guessing
would
I'm trying to go
love
for a
I would
summer.
love for it to be Arrow or Second Sight or a company like that.
Yeah, they didn't say who it was, but because I know so Eduardo Sanchez had done like this
Mhm.
an interview, and
Yeah.
someone asked him about it. It's
It's
like
kind of like when,
something work on it.
I heard, about The Abyss and, True Lies, and they are happening, but, it didn't happen last year.
Right.
Um
But you would assume with the anniversary, if it's going to happen, you got to do it this year.
yeah, I
You would think.
also heard from the same guy who worked at Second Sight about Near Dark, but
Hmm.
nothing had really confirmed or really come out of that just yet.
Well, I heard
But
something about this movie called The Hitcher, and there's
hey,
nothing
hey,
yet.
hey, there is they did do a whole thing where they're in the finalizing process. It's the rumor is I think it's supposed to come out this year. Because there's an Umbrella Entertainment Blu-ray that's already coming out, and Second Sight's going to
Yeah,
be doing their 4K and their Blu-ray later. Um,
just
and
like the
that
rumors don't come out last year.
the
I'll wait till it
yeah,
comes out.
or like Trick or Treat from Synapse. I should just know better about Synapse because they're gonna like Return of the Deadly Spawn. The Deadly Spawn still hasn't gotten that 4K yet. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah. Though
yeah,
no Trick or Treat. Remember that was going to come out.
yeah,
Seems like it's going to be Halloween. Nope.
something like that.
Michael Felcher, maybe you stop worrying about Bear Hills Cop 2 and worry about the.
Yeah.
Ah, man. Oh, well. An American Idol theme park? No, I didn't know they had that.
Oh, it wasn't a theme park. It was a part. It was an attraction at Disneyland or Disney World or
It's
something for a
his
little
fault.
bit.
Yeah, it's all his fault. Yeah, I
You-
didn't. Stop bitching about Bear Hills Cop 2. It's, I'm sorry to hear that, Bobby. Wish her the best, man.
yeah, me too.
That's always tough when people have to deal with that, man. But it seems like you guys are on the ball and you're helping her out, and you guys are being good souls, and
Hmm.
it's a sweet thing for people to do on Valentine's Day, at least. So there's always that positivity. And I didn't. The house that Jap built was
Um,
that was interesting.
I haven't seen
I
that
think
one
that was
yet. I've
one of
heard about it.
it's long though. It's very way too long.
Yeah.
It has some really trippy visuals in the throughout
Isn't
it
it like
though.
about a serial killer, I think, or something?
Yeah, Matt
Something along
Dillon
those
plays a serial
lines?
killer.
Yeah.
It's a
Mhm.
messed up movie. Way too long,
Yeah.
but I liked it despite that.
Drugstore Cowboy, I've heard about but never seen.
Yeah, I don't. No, I've seen Midnight Cowboy, but not drugstore cowboy.
The one that had that famous scene with Dustin Hoffman. Hey, I'm
I'm
walking
walking here.
here.
I'm walking
I'm
here.
walking
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
yeah. Lars von Trier. That was the house that Jack built. That's like the one Lars von Trier I could watch.
Not
And
Nymphomaniac or
no,
Antichrist. In a lot of ways, Lars von Trier was like Ari Aster before Ari Aster even started doing anything. If you really think about it.
oh, definitely. Yeah, we've definitely see American Ninja and the Ninja trilogy. Uh,
Yeah.
Funny enough, one of my earliest memories of VHS was a scene where like a family is massacred and a boy got like a ninja star through the eye, but I never knew what the movie was.
Uh-huh.
I thought I imagined it. Was this some nightmare I had? Because I could never find it. Like it was
That's
taped over.
That's like
It was
me and Stay Tuned with John Ritter. Like for years, I was like, "There's something with the satellite dish, and it sucks people into the TV, and they're a cartoon." And people are like, "What?"
so. And then it was like decades later, I found out I'm watching Revenge of the Ninja, and it's this movie.
Yeah,
Okay, that's the one where the kid gets a ninja star in the eye.
that
I'm
movie's
like,
great.
Jesus
That
Christ.
that's my favorite of
Yeah,
those canon ninja movies is Revenge of the Ninja. Um,
I do love Revenge of the Ninja. It's got great score, Shota
yeah,
Sugi kicking ass, taking
yeah,
names, all the crazy ninja. I don't
uh-huh,
know how the hell how do you make like a fake ninja person that
yeah,
cuts in half and it's a mannequin? He pulled
yeah,
it out of his pocket or his ass or
uh-huh,
something.
yeah,
Uh, Ninja 3, the golf course scene is definitely
yeah.
insane
That's great.
in that one.
But I'm sorry, listening to Dickie. V8 not sexy. Not
Yeah,
sexy
no,
at all.
one of my earliest Ninja memories is opening scene Ninja 3. I don't blame you because I didn't see that when I was a kid, but when I did eventually see it, I'm like, yeah, he kills like 80 people on a golf course. It kind of it blows his load a bit too early
Yes.
because like that's the best scene, but the rest of it there is some funny stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
the V8 scene and stuff. Don't, I don't like V8 in general, let alone the way he's using that scene.
exactly.
And, and
I
American,
wonder though if Gina Davis was a big fan of that scene, and knowing her and Rennie Harlan's love of V8, because they ship cartons and
for Cutthroat Island,
for Cutthroat Island of V8 to
yeah,
Malta.
maybe Cutthroat Island, they ship like not buckets, but tons of V8 for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. But in the American Ninja films, I like the first two. The
The
third one I
third
could watch
one's
for Steve
okay.
James.
Yeah.
Steve James should have been the star of it.
The fourth film is fucking terrible. 5 is bad
What
too,
was it?
but like the fourth
What was
one's
the
the
guy in the fourth
Annihilation.
film?
Yeah, the guy
Licked
who
by
was
a
like,
boot.
"Yeah, lick my boot."
I remember you when you reviewed it.
Yeah.
Licked by a boot. More like lick my ass, you motherfucker.
Yeah, that guy was fucking terrible. And the super ninja that is a super pussy.
I forgot about the thumbtack ring in Ninja 3.
Do you remember the super ninja though from Annihilation? Who's just a total
I don't
super
remember a
pussy.
lot in that. I don't remember a whole lot
And then the
other
fact that
than
Michael
David
Dudikoff
Bradley.
and David Bradley, they never shared a scene together in the entire movie.
Although you have that weird scene where it's like supposed to be like a double of him,
Oh, you
and they're
had
having like a
that,
fight.
but that's not really their characters sharing screen time.
But
It's like
it's
some
just the
fake
actor.
version. Yeah, it's a fake
But it's the
version of it.
actor.
Yeah.
Which always a weird scene.
Yeah. Awful
Because this is
movie.
the thing that they like Michael Dudikoff found David Bradley at a car lot because David Bradley was selling cars.
Yeah.
Because you interviewed the director Sam Furstenberg,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
you
yeah.
Fabio and
Boaz, yeah,
I can't forget his name, Boaz.
yeah,
You interviewed Sam Furstenberg. You talked to him about Ninja 3 and like
yeah,
all the other movies, American Ninja.
I don't remember if we talked to him
It,
about Annihilation or not, but,
I mean, it's you probably didn't get that far,
yeah.
but yeah, it's like why don't you found David Bradley because he was selling cars? Was
Speaking of
funny.
David
I guess
Bradley, I would say I would recommend a lesser known film that he starred in called Hard Justice. That's a pretty decent one.
yeah, because
David
that had a little
Bradley.
bit of a John Woo action thing to it, but Dudikoff was definitely better than
Oh,
him as the
absolutely.
American
David
Ninja.
Bradley, I mean, he other than Hard Justice, I mean, the Cyborg Cop movies, like those definitely aren't good. Where he plays Jack Ryan.
Not that Jack Ryan, different Jack
No,
Ryan.
different Jack Ryan. Um, but American Ninja 5, that's like Surf Ninjas, like some weird Surf Ninjas crossover spinoff. It seems like it's from like the same universe.
Because there's a kid that also has a video game, right?
Yes, yes, and I think it's the
Handheld,
same actor. I think it's the same kid, if I remember correctly.
like a Game Gear, like Surf
Yeah,
Ninjas,
like in Surf
and
Ninjas where it didn't
that was
have the
supposed to
game
be
in it.
American Ninja, right?
Maybe,
Oh,
I don't
Pocket
know.
Ninjas, that one.
Pocket Ninjas. Yeah.
That was the one where Pocket Ninjas is one of the worst films you'll ever see because the kid's holding a Game Boy like this.
Yeah, and there's no game in
And you
it.
know how the Game Boys, you put the game in the back?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the game in the back,
Yeah,
but he's playing it,
and
and
there's
the
nothing
camera
in there.
shows the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
No, he's playing it, and it's empty right here on the
Yeah,
back.
exactly, there's no game in the
And
back. I think it's Surf
he's
Ninjas
playing it.
or American Ninja 5, there was a scene like that too, where they're playing a
Was
game and
it?
there wasn't a game in there as well.
Probably was. I'm sorry, I'm not memorable. Surf Ninjas and American Ninja 5 are not really memorable to me as
What, you
fucking
don't
movies.
remember the countless, renditions of Barbara Ann from Surf Ninjas? Or Leslie Nielsen,
No,
or the multiple scenes where people fall down this giant flight of stairs? Maybe that's
no,
where, John Wick 4 got the idea for the flight of stairs scene. They got it from Surf
from Surf Ninjas.
Ninjas.
I'm sure it was. But yeah, American Ninja 1 and 2 I do enjoy. American Ninja 2 is my favorite.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say mine too, The Confrontation, yeah.
especially like the music by George S. Clinton
Yeah,
and
definitely.
love Steve James. He should have been the star of the third one.
Absolutely.
I think that's why he didn't do American Ninja 4 because you didn't let him star when he should
Mhm.
have.
It said
I
he
know he
did stuff
also did
like
not like
Street
the
Hunter with Red
yeah.
Brown, and of course,
And the ones you reviewed,
Riverbend. Yeah,
yeah,
Riverbend is lame, it's not very good.
you had a review. That was when you were going to try that VHS 365. There was a
Yeah,
lot of
that was
stuff
a lot of stuff to do and editing and everything, and that didn't work out, but
behind their YK. But yeah, I would say like with both of them, Revenge of the Ninja, American Ninja 1 and 2 are probably my favorites of all those. Ninja 3 is kind of fun though too.
yeah.
Enter the
I
Ninja never cared for
Yeah, I wasn't big on it
the
either.
that one.
No, I mean, I don't the Franco Nero, is that who it is who's the lead guy? Like, I'm not super big on him as the lead,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I had some fun with it at times, but everything that was done in that with ninjas was done better in Revenge of the Ninja. So,
Riverbend doesn't shouldn't be remastered, but it is
no,
whatever.
I think it can definitely remain on VHS. There's not a whole lot of redeeming qualities about that
But I
other than
guess it's
maybe
getting remastered.
it is? Okay.
Someone says it is.
Go figure.
Thank you, Opium. I appreciate that, man. Do you guys think
Solo
that the Ray
was.
movie? Yeah, I mean, Solo was a flop. I guess he thinks like even bigger flop. Nail in the. It'll never be a nail in the coffin because they'll wait another couple years and try to milk it more unless they sell it. The nail in the coffin will be if they actually sell it, and that'll be a surprise because they'll try to milk every drop, no
That's
matter
what
how many
Disney should
flops
be
they
doing
have.
right now. That's what Disney should absolutely start doing right now, and get ahead
Sell
while they can.
assets.
That's what they should be doing. They're already losing billions, and they're already just they still, because of everything that they've made and all the assets that they currently have. I did do some research. They are in better shape than someone like a company like Warner Brothers, for instance, right now, in terms of profit, but they're still losing money from the, various different parts
Disney
of their
Plus.
industry, especially Disney Plus. But they did say that they were planning on losing money for the first few years or so. They weren't planning on necessarily
I'm sure they did.
making the profit initially, because that's normally what happens with these streaming services. But with how many people are canceling and all the shows and stuff that they're doing and all the money they're spending, like I think they're not even going to make a profit because it doesn't seem
And here's the
like
thing.
there's a profit in the future for Disney Plus.
Here's the question. Why? What is the motivation? Why would one want to subscribe to Disney Plus? What would you get
Here's
out of the deal
here's the only reason
positively?
why I subscribed to Disney Plus recently. I wanted to see the uncut version of Muppet Christmas Carol with the "When the Love Is Gone" song put back into the film, because
Hmm.
that was originally in the home video release. It was cut out of the DVD and other releases, and I believe it
Well,
was initially cut out of the
I just meant
theatrical
in
release.
general for people. Like, what would they get out of it? Because
Okay.
if all these Disney shows suck, these Marvel TV shows seem to
Nostalgic.
suck.
It's not the new stuff, it's the nostalgic stuff. It's for the families and for the people that they don't have a lot of physical copies of the classic animated films or the Disney afternoon shows. So,
I don't
a
think
lot
there's
of it
that
is for them.
many. I don't think there's that many that want that as much as they think,
Mhm.
and that's why they're putting all this money to this new stuff that's not succeeding.
Yeah, like all these Marvel shows and Echo
No one's
and
gonna give a shit about the Willow TV show and look back on it that bombed
well,
and canceled already.
even if somebody did like it, it's not like they can go to Disney Plus and watch it.
So that's what I mean. It's like when they keep the old stuff, you'd only watch so many times.
Mhm.
And then it's like, you know what? I'll get the DVD or I'll find a place to download
Yeah.
it or something else will happen.
There's some cool stuff, like, there was a show they did called I think it was Prop Hunt or something, and they were looking for different Disney props, and they, interviewed effects artists and different people who worked on the movies and had interviews with other
That's like that
people.
wrestling buried treasures or whatever the
Yeah,
Triple H Stephanie looking for
but
wrestling stuff.
it was a fun little show. I think it lasted for a couple seasons, but,
Wonder if there's a
I
porn
could
version of that. Let's find Ron Jeremy's you know, leotard he did
I
before he
find
went to prison.
Harry Reams stuff. Um, but yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from, and I don't think there's enough new stuff that keeps subscribers.
We
Like
know
with
this thing's from the
Netflix.
70s, this porn thing, because it's a picture of his dick and it's
Uh-huh.
got sideburns. So that
Right.
must be from the
Yeah.
70s.
Because from when it comes to Disney compared to other streaming services, like Netflix, they won't have Stranger Things for long, but I guarantee they're not going to be done milking that series. They'll have a spin-off
No,
or some kind of animated thing or something. So Netflix has Stranger Things. What does Disney have in terms of like a reoccurring series that really has that kind of devoted fan base on Disney Plus?
Mandalorian.
Okay. All right.
But that's going to be failing too because people
Well,
didn't like the
season
third
3,
season,
yeah,
and then going to try
season
to do
yeah.
a movie.
Yeah, season 3 didn't do
If
that
that
well.
movie fails, right, and if that movie screws it up, then they're going to kill that cow soon enough.
Yeah.
They always kill it soon enough.
So yeah, it's just one of those things like other than Mandalorian, and even Netflix has some other shows too that people keep coming back for. So Disney only has like one show on Disney Plus, a new show that's not a vintage nostalgic property that's bringing people back. I like the Muppets. I enjoy the Muppets, and it's cool that you can see the Muppet Show and in most of its entirety. Some episodes are just completely deleted. There was one that
Right.
was hosted by this guy, I think in season 5, who went on to become a convicted sex offender or something. So they just banned that episode.
Hmm.
Hey, don't attack me.
About Star Wars, that's why. Stop talking about Star Wars. That's what your cat's saying. Why we talking about Star Wars? Not Star Wars. And Ray, no one gives a crap about Ray
No,
Skywalker movie.
no, absolutely not.
They need to rethink that and just abandon the idea.
Mhm.
They're not going to give a fuck about
It's like with
Ray.
Madam Web. Turn it back to Madam Web. Sony should have just never released. They should have never made this shit. This should have been like dumped to streaming or something. Like this is not something for theaters.
Hey, Kentucky Tater, he had quit. Hey guys, I quit uploading YouTube over a decade ago. Too much editing, BS, copyright claims, etc.
Uh
How
huh.
close have you guys come to quitting over the years?
Hmm.
The thought has entered from time to time. I don't know if there's a time I was ever closest. Probably before the start of this channel was probably the closest,
Yeah.
which was 2000. Well, no, and there was a time when the COPPA thing, because they had
Yeah.
no information on that,
Uh huh.
and it's like I will admit I succumbed to it. I will admit because it was so vague.
I did too. I
You'll
deleted
get
a bunch of
sued
stuff
for
too,
this and
just to
that.
be
They were so
safe.
vague on that.
Yeah.
Oh well, if you have this and if you have this, but it's a kids film you reviewed.
Hmm.
It was like all these things. I'm like, they did not
So
do any
continue
job
talking about
explaining that.
Kappa. I will. I,
That's fine.
I think Olympus just wants to be fed. I think that's what's going
No,
on.
that's problem. But yeah, that thing it was just so vague on what was being done. Like no one had an explanation. It was like, oh, we don't threaten to sue people and all this other stuff. And it's like, well, how is that right? How is that? It's just, I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem like a fun place to be with all the YouTube BS. And if this is going, and of course, the team went up, nothing happened about it. But that's probably the closest. But I'm glad I didn't because now I get to be here with Mike and you guys. And I've done streams with the guys at Dead Pit. I've other stuff. So I'm glad I didn't. And there's always going to be BS on YouTube. Just hang in there day by day. That's all we can do.
Yeah, Kappa was kind of scary. I got to be honest.
How about you? What was the closest you did? Was it? I
Um.
know you had other Bruce Hornsby.
No. Uh. There was a time early on, and when you and I and Efri were doing the three crazy guys thing, and I said something stupid, and we kind of had a bit of a falling out, and then we reconciled after that. Like during that period, I definitely thought about it
Hmm.
because it was
Man,
just
I don't
kind
even
of,
remember that.
yeah, it was a long
That's
time
how
ago.
that's how my memory's going. I
Yeah,
don't even remember that.
exactly. Yeah, I said something that Every didn't like, and then we all kind of had a falling out about it, and I felt really bad about it, and you know,
I must not have been
ultimately,
that mad
yeah,
because I probably was like,
yeah,
well, like you, it's between you
yeah,
two guys. We'll see
yeah.
what happens.
Ultimately, we smooth things over, and everything is all cool, because that's
That's
what
the thing. Like, I don't remember
our
doing
friends do.
anything. Like, what did I do?
Yeah, it wasn't you, it was me. It was all on my
Oh,
end. But because this is what was going on, and
oh, okay.
I felt bad. Um,
Oh, okay.
but in terms of anything else, like not really. I can't really think of other times that I really was like, oh man, I'm gonna quit. Uh, you
Hmm.
know, it's I've just been at it for so long. It's like I don't want to, and I don't
Right.
get the most views compared to other places and other channels and
Me
everything, but
neither.
You
Me
know,
neither.
there's still a, select group of
Yeah, we're
people that
lucky if we get 100 views on a video.
yeah.
We're lucky of that. So we'll
Yeah.
never be Angry Joe. We'll
No.
never be those guys. And but you know what?
Well, I think in order to
It
do
is
that, I
what it
think you
is.
kind of have to sell out, and I can't do that. That's not in my vocabulary. That's not in my DNA. I can't like,
Hmm.
oh, I'm just gonna, be a little lenient on this movie or whatever because I want to keep my brand deal. I want to be able to continue to go to premieres and all that other
We're the
shit.
only two people not sponsored by Manscaped.
Yeah.
We're only two people. The only two
or
people on YouTube
or
not sponsored by
express
Manscaped.
or express VPN.
Exactly. We're the only two people in the whole YouTube
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Manscaped and ExpressVPN. We
But I
don't have
mean, I over the years I just appreciate, anyone who's, left some kind words or watched my videos, or I've
the
had
same.
people who've said things and they're just really humbling about how, help them get through the day, and there are still some people that have, supported me and you through, thick and thin and for a
Exactly.
decade or more. So I mean, that means a lot, even if it's not as many as other places. But it also enables us a certain amount of freedom that I don't think we would have if, we were a bigger channel and we're like, oh, I can't swear so much because I'm gonna lose my monetization, or, I can't do
So
this or that.
at the end of the day, truly can't complain.
No.
We're here. We get to hang out with each other.
Yep.
A lot of nice people in the chat.
Exactly.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yep.
And so sorry I missed this hopium. I was talking about the Ray character. This character such he's boring. He do
Yeah.
everything. We know they're
Mary
gonna
Sue.
use Ray Skywalker. It's gonna be insulting. How is she a Skywalker again? Fucking stupid.
Uh
I'm
it's
Ray.
uh
Ray
it's Jedi
Skywalker. No, you're not.
appropriation. It's Jedi appropriation, Matt. That's how she's a
Stole,
Skywalker. Jedi
she stole
appropriation.
Luke's wallet, stole his credit cards. It's like the
Identity
net,
theft.
the Sandra Bullock. Stole Luke's
No, that's
identity.
that's that's cool. That's too cool. It's more like Identity Thief with Melissa McCarthy.
There you go. I'd rather watch that than the new Star Wars.
Oh yeah, to be honest, I
I
bought
hate
that
to
on
say it.
Blu-ray recently. I remember watching that a few years back, had some fun with it. Jason Bateman was good in it. This is back when Melissa McCarthy was actually kind of tolerable in her films.
Now she
Uh
towers wontons.
yeah.
Well, this is for you. Has something ever happened to you? Like, I guess this happened to Bobby. He absolutely ran into a glass door. Was there
Ran
anything
through a glass door? No, I've never ran through
or
a
bounce
glass
off?
door.
I think your
I've done
glasses fell at an amusement park or what point, right?
well,
Roller
yeah.
coaster or
I have I
something.
have a I have a lot of like stories where, I'm being clumsy and run into things, so that's happened before.
What's
But
one of them you think of?
um well, there's a couple. They were both at work. One was at Michael's and I don't work there anymore. And I was just, going over to pick a bag up, and there's this long peg that's holding these other bags up, and I hit it full force in one of the lenses of my glasses. It hit me so hard it knocked my glasses off. If I didn't have my glasses on, I probably would have lost an eye. Like it was that bad. Um,
Jesus.
there's another thing that happened at my other job that I'm still working at
Mike got
now.
paid. Yeah.
Yeah, I got pegged.
Mike got
Exactly. Not
Deadpool
that kind
style. There you
not that kind of pegging, but yeah, I just went and it was one of those things, another deal with bags again, picking up bags and lifting my head up and hit a metal peg that was like a hook kind of thing like this. And one of the exposed metal portions has hit me in the top of my head. It stunned me enough that I was slow when it comes to answering questions over the phone, and so they sent me to
go.
the ER, and I waited for hours at
Right.
the ER long enough that
Jesus.
by the time that I was finally, getting ready to be looked at, I my head had cleared up. And I was even like talking to
Yeah.
like the uh the person, who's at like the not really a door, but it's like the place where you sign in, you do the check in and everything. I was like, do I really have to stay? Because I feel fine now. Like it's all cleared up. Like
Mm,
I don't. I was like, no, we recommend that you da da da. You had a head injury, and then I'm like, okay, fine. And they did all the
right.
the stuff and the CT scan and all this other stuff. They also did blood work. Because I had some blood work that I guess they wanted me to do for other stuff, so they did that, and it was stressful, but I was fine, and thankfully workers comp paid for it all. Any other sort of stuff, I fell off the risers one time when I inquire off the top riser. I wasn't paying
Jesus.
attention, and I was in the chair, and I fell off with the chair, in the chair onto the ground. Um, and of course you have the
Well, you got hit by a car too.
well, I have that too. When I was running against the light to try to catch the bus and got hit by a car and flew 15 feet in the air and landed face first on the asphalt and just broke my
Mine
teeth in
is
my
like Super
nose.
Dave.
Yeah.
Super Dave. Yeah.
Yeah. Broke my teeth in my nose and that's about it. Like just crazy lucky. Didn't break anything else.
Yeah.
Broke
I
my
guess it would
that's why I
be.
have this scar right here.
Yeah. Ah, yeah.
But you mentioned the roller coaster thing, and that was at Great America, Paramount Great America on Top Gun. I was really looking forward to riding it too, and I don't really have the best experience because I don't remember half of it, so I couldn't see. My glasses flew off. We did a barrel roll, inverted, 65 miles an hour or something. Glasses fell off. My reflexes were fast enough, thanks to my dad playing surprise game of catch with me anytime he had a chance to with Nerf balls. So I was able to like grab my glasses and hold them on my chest throughout the rest of the ride. Otherwise it would have,
Paramount's Great America.
yeah,
Was that in
California.
California?
Yeah, it's in California.
Oh, someone's from there. Santa Clara.
Yeah.
That's Pain fan. Cool.
Hmm.
I guess for me, I mean, there's the car crash I was in where I got my eyeball cut.
Yeah.
Uh, there's when I was working at Target and I got a piece of my finger, not too much cut off, but you can't see it now. But there was a bit
Yeah.
of scar tissue here where
Was it like when you were working with a with boxes or something in the box cutter or
box cutter.
yeah.
It was one of these went and the top part was cut off.
I cut up my finger pretty bad with a staple at work because I was just opening packages and I didn't even know that this package of like flowers had a staple in it. So it's one of those like you're ripping the package open like you normally do about anything. Forgive me if you hear that. My cat's throwing up. Apparently, he's sick of a lot of other shit too that we're talking about. Literally, um, this is kind of normal thing for him. He just eats his food too fast and then comes back up. But
Oh,
yeah,
one time a
ripped
turkey
my
cut
finger up with ripped in his bag open. Staple got it.
the fuck out of my leg. Oh boy.
Damn.
Because this
Yeah.
is we're in the middle of the year is Texas and
Yeah.
had turkeys at one point, but it's a male. He's not here anymore. And kept the shit and like was always docile. At one
Yeah.
point wasn't, jumped on me, like the whole leg was bloody.
Oh
So I had to like
shit.
wash it all off. I had to wrap everything.
Damn.
Thankfully no
Damn.
scars, but just like,
Yeah.
20 fucking
That
cuts
kind of
all up and down your
yeah.
leg.
That kind of reminds me of when I cut up my shin because it was after a long day at work and I was really tired. I was more tired than I thought I was, and I just I didn't lift my leg up high enough over the shower, like because there's a sliding glass door and there's like metal underneath, and I just hit my shin like right on the metal, and it like cut me up bad. I actually do think I have a scar from that, but yeah.
I think when I was a kid, I might have been electrocuted.
Holy shit! Like that,
Because
like
it was on
the
a
Iron
farm,
Claw.
you know those wires, like fence,
Yeah,
there's a little bit electrified.
yeah, the
I
ones that
might have, as a kid, grabbed
yeah.
one of those. I
Oh, so
might
you were
have, but I don't remember anything about
like the kid from Jurassic Park.
it. It might
You
have been
grabbed the
that. It might have been.
went flying back 10 feet.
But it might have been like, zzz, might have been one of those.
Be like Tim. Tim, no.
It might have been. But thank you, Bobby. Yeah, I'm glad I just got here meeting you guys. No, you didn't come in too late. As
No.
long as you're here, it's all good, man. It's all good, man.
I think
Nothing. There's no too late. The
I
only
think I
too late is when you're
remember.
dead.
Yeah,
That's when it's too late.
Matt. I think I remember when you said you did a paintballing thing for like a horror
Oh,
maze or
it was
something for
going
a
to be
little
like
bit.
to make some extra money.
Yeah,
So it's like to do it where you dress up and then you're supposed to stand there while people in paintballs hit you.
yeah,
It was like for extra money for like a night or two. It was
yeah.
like for like 2 or 3 nights.
Hmm.
So the first night they give you this gear to put on, but it didn't do anything. Like I might be wearing what I'm wearing now. And I was so in
Hmm.
pain, I just hid behind a sign until we were done. And I said, "Fuck this! I'm not doing this anymore."
I don't blame you.
I got bruises all
Yeah,
over. I'm like,
paintballs are
"What
no
the hell is
joke.
this protection?" But it's supposed to be protection, and I have bruises everywhere. What kind of protection is this? Yeah, I'm me. Welcome to Jackass. It's like, what is all this? Like, this ain't protection. This didn't protect shit.
No, absolutely
If
not.
you're not going to have good equipment, then I'm not doing it. It ain't worth it.
Yeah.
You keep the $5
Yeah, that's
layer
what I was gonna say.
at
You can keep the
Ghostbusters.
$5. I've had it.
I will, mister. Thank you, Hopi. I appreciate that. Been watching since 2012. Carl, when are your review Prometheus? Which I did put that back up recently. That's up now. You were right about everything. Oh, you used to like it, but you were right about everything. It sucks. Yeah,
The fucking penis
Prometheus.
creature. Nobody acts that way. Oh, look at the thing. It's so cute.
And he got high in his suit.
Yeah.
I choose to believe it.
They're the map
Jesus.
guys and they don't know how to use the fucking map. How do you not know
Yeah,
how
that
to
was
use the
weird too.
map?
And like Idris Elba's like, I heard something. Never mind, and like walks away or something like
Or
that
the
happened.
giant face hugger, and then the whole thing with the girl that I choose to believe it, Nomi Rapace, who like staples her stomach shut, was running around doing like stunts and
Yeah, someone was
rolls and
saying she actually did
jumping.
stumble.
Yeah.
She actually did. Someone was. They were defending that, saying no, she was
So
pretending to be hurt.
she stumbled
Didn't seem like
once,
it to
but
me.
her stomach should have ripped open half the time when it comes to like the stunts that she was doing. Because all she did is just
And
staple it
Michael,
shut.
yeah, and Michael, you missed it. We actually talked about Madam Web. Mike saw and he gave a little, not review, but he gave his thoughts on
Yeah,
it.
that film is
Some of
terrible.
it.
Madam Misstep. That's a giant misstep for another misstep for Sony and a giant misstep for comic book films.
Kentucky. I was surprised how dumb the characters were in Prometheus. I
Yeah.
mean, Caceres really stopped making it.
Yes.
Yeah, a bit surprised. I was a bit surprised.
Or like the whole thing with the machine, like the medical machine, and how it's specifically built for this rich guy, and it's like
Yeah,
not, and they separate it by gender, but it somehow still works for Nomi Rapace, even though like they made it clear that there's male and female like medical units.
Or the fact Charlize Theron only can run straight. She doesn't know how to turn. This thing's coming at me. Ah, I could turn, but apparently doesn't think to turn left or right.
And of course, the ripping off X Files with the black
The black oil,
goo.
yeah. Yeah, Ridley Scott gave crap to Blade Runner 2049, but yet he directed Prometheus and Alien Covenant. He has no room to talk.
The Alien Covenant, the Benny Hill
So,
alien movie, where people were slipping and sliding on fucking blood. You got the guy who's standing right in
Jesus.
front of an alien egg for an uncomfortable amount of time, like a fucking dumbass. And then of course it opens up and then takes him out.
Yeah, those, I mean, Ridley Scott
Oh,
hasn't made a good film in a while.
Prometheus or was it Alien Covenant when the guy took his helmet off?
Prometheus. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, they both did it
Yeah.
in
Well,
both movies, but
it was
I remember
stupid in
Prometheus
both
did it.
films. One guy took his helmet off and his head exploded, and I think another one took his helmet off and was like, "Oh, I could breathe," and then he gets infected with something in the air because he's a dumbass.
The giant face hunter. Yeah, it was more like an octopus. Yeah,
Or
I
like the
know.
severed head of the albino guy, the albino
Oh,
fuckface on steroids. Yeah,
they accidentally popped it like a zit in a microwave or whatever
exactly.
they did. They put it in.
Supposed
They
professional
heated to
science. They're scientists and they're just like poking around this alien head like it's just some kind of kid's toy.
pop like pop like a zit. No, we haven't seen. I haven't seen the Napoleon movie. No, I haven't seen it.
I've heard it's not great. So yeah, I saw Lisa Frankenstein, didn't mind it for what it was. I think it could have been a bit better. Zelda Williams though did a really good job directing it. I think her father would be really proud of her. I really do.
Hmm.
Um and then because there was nothing else showing and I needed to kill time before I got a ride and the only thing that was showing was Mean Girls, the musical. I did see that too. Not great. I mean,
I think on Facebook you said it wasn't that bad.
it wasn't terrible, but like it was average. It was that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Where it's not great, it's just kind of there. The original is definitely better.
Hmm. Cole, I mean, Scary Movie 5 is Scary Movie 5. It's pretty
The
bad.
one with the the pool cleaners having a party.
An orgy or something, yeah.
Yes, they have they have a pool party and then an orgy.
Yeah, the new Mean Girls is a musical.
Yeah,
I
some of
didn't
the
see the
songs
first Mean Girl.
some of the songs are okay, but a lot of them are just pretty just bland, vanilla, and not really that memorable to me.
Hmm.
And but I will say this, like there are some, breakout stars like um her last name is Rap. She played the Regina George character in it. She was really good in it. Um
Hmm.
they still had like some scenes where they're watching some horror movies, like the original, so that was kind of fun to see.
Cool.
But yeah, I would say unless you're like a super diehard fan and probably of Mean Girls, it probably is not something that I would recommend to most people.
Yeah, I've never seen Mean Girls, so the original. Did I see the new look of the new Ninja Turtle cartoon based on the new movie? I don't know if you saw that.
No, what is it? Just as bad?
I mean, it's a sequel to the movie, and the animation is very cheap.
Yeah,
It's
you're
very
talking about the new Ninja Turtles. I don't
it's
like
very
it.
cheap animation. I don't know how the hell you would describe it. I mean, I don't know. Let's
Looks like
cheat.
they
I'll
animated
say
it
that.
in a sewer.
Something. When David said, "I'll do the fingering in
Yes.
Covenant,"
Oh
me and
my
my friend
god.
absolutely lost
Yeah.
in theaters.
When I first saw that movie and I heard that
I
line, I
remember
was
that.
like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me! I'll do the fingering."
Of course, he's talking about his instrument, the
I
flute.
know, but
But
come on.
yeah, they didn't think that through, and I guess they didn't think of it as dirty as us would. Jesus, yeah, I should have had a different line. Just put it that way. And yeah, there were too many scary movie films. Exactly. You didn't need to be up to five.
To be honest, I think the last good one was 2 because I'm not even really a fan of Scary Movie 3, and I know a lot of people like that, and I'm
Yeah,
not really big on it. I'm sorry. Oh my god, that lady, she had a hat that was big, and then it was bigger, and then even bigger in the next scene. So hilarious. I'm like, "It's stupid." What what is so funny about that?
yeah.
The 8 Mile parody with that guy that I don't like at all. I forgot his name, but he's an annoying pissant of an actor.
Yeah, I can visualize his face. I don't remember his name.
He tried to do a serious drama film last year or a year before called Red Rocket.
Kentucky Container with the guys at Dead Pit. That's up to them. I don't want to be like, hey, you better put me in. It's up to them. I know they're doing a horror roundtable tomorrow for I think it's people who are with their Patreon
Mhm.
about Number on Elm Street. Apparently, sometime this month, something about Kevin Smith. They invited me on. It probably that'll be a fun conversation because he did a lot of bad stuff later
Man, he
on.
fell off so hard. It's not even funny.
Simon Rex, that was the guy's name. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
Simon
scary movie.
Rex.
That's cool, sweet. That's fine. You enjoyed Napoleon, but yeah, no problem, man. I was fine with checking out your review. You did a good job.
You want to see Napoleon? I'll just watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure again.
Exactly. If you're talking about PS5, don't own it. Way too expensive. Probably never own it because it's just way too expensive. They cost way too much. Way too much money.
Mhm.
I will admit, I did make a bid purchase because I rarely buy stuff for myself.
Yeah.
It'll take a couple weeks to get here, but it's one of those a modded PS3
Okay.
because it's going to supposedly, hopefully, have all the PS2 games on there
Okay.
and a lot of PS3 games.
Okay. If it
So
does,
if it works out,
uh-huh.
it may have RoboCop on there because
And
that was a
and
PS2.
and Kingdom not Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Emperor's Tomb should be on there too.
Yeah, hopefully those two will be on there, and then
Cool.
and also Burial's Cop from overseas
Oh yeah,
is
they
supposed to
did
be
that
awful,
that was a game. That was pretty bad too. Remember
but
correctly.
that's if it works out, because you never
My
know with these
memories of the
things. But
PS2 is my dad briefly had one, and I played some of Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. But my dad only briefly had it because then he had to, pawn it or whatever, do something because he had to make some money, and so barely had it
mhm.
for that long at all.
I know you, of course, you talked a lot about playing RoboCop for Xbox.
Yeah, a little bit of that, but really no, I didn't play a lot of that growing up. I played a lot of just Xbox stuff, Halo, Halo 2, some Halo 3, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb was one I played a lot. Mech Assault. Um, I played stuff on the Super Nintendo, like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Batman Forever,
Mhm.
the original Nintendo, like Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, Predator, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Dick Tracy, Darkman,
Yeah.
where every time you die, you get a cutscene of Darkman crying like a bitch. Like, oh, he failed his mission.
Yeah, I mean the WWE stuff, I don't really follow it. It's interesting what they're doing with the whole Cody Rhodes, The Rock being a
I
bad guy
watched
now.
I watched the what is it, the kickoff show, or it wasn't the kickoff show, it was the
WrestleMania
something weigh in or whatever the
in
heck it was.
preparation.
I watched that. It was all right. I think they're doing the right thing by kind of keeping people on edge in terms of like, okay, uh, who is actually going to fight who, and so it's not just a done deal that Roman is fighting The Rock. They listened to the fans in that instance because they weren't happy about that. And I think The Rock's a great heel. He really can be a really good heel, and I liked what he did. I liked him going after the Cody crybabies. I liked the whole thing that he did on the Pat McAfee show. I think some people took it the wrong way. They didn't realize it was a work. I'm like, it's totally a work, man. It's like, and he's a good
Yeah.
heel. And it's refreshing to see The Rock do that again and be a heel again, because he's been Mr. Hollywood, Mr. I'm the good guy, I'm this or that for so long. So it's nice to see The Rock be a heel again.
And yeah, the Vince McMahon thing is just more and more and more. I mean, the Ashley Mazzaro stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which I had heard about that, but then the fact that's like at the time she never told us about it, and then John Laurinai's lawyer come out and going, "Well, I mean, she did tell them about it, but I'm like, wait a minute, you said in 2017, whatever year, she never told you about it. Now you're saying she did tell you about it. Which the
It's
fuck
just
is it?"
it's a clusterfuck. It really is. It is just a mess. And
Sally, I think that did happen with Ashley Mazzara.
oh
Sally, I
yeah,
think
100%.
her being too late.
I'm pretty sure that happened. I'm pretty sure all the other stuff happened that's been rumored. It seems like Brock Lesnar is more involved than people might think, because WWE has taken like extreme measures in terms of like the
Yeah.
nuclear option with Brock Lesnar. So
You would think Brock would have defended himself
yeah, if he was
if it
innocent.
wasn't true. Unless he was told not to, which I think would be a dumb decision, but I'm not a lawyer.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I think there could be something to be said about not saying anything right now. Get your information, get your proof, get your blah, get your defense in order. Because I've seen that happen before with some YouTubers where they get disgraced for something or another, and then they don't reply right away. But then they do a video later and they're like, I got receipts, I got this and that. Like, this didn't happen the way that they said it did. I'm innocent. This is, I fabricated. This is a
Mm.
lie. You're going after the wrong person here. But I
You
don't
think
know.
you'd be able to sell for defamation
Yeah,
for someone who makes enough money like Brock?
yeah. If he is, but I don't. I don't think he is.
Well,
I
to be
think.
fair, here's the thing: they never said his name. They just said a former UFC guy.
Yeah, but the thing
They
is,
never
like,
said his name.
they're taking so many actions right now, PR wise, with Brock. So it's like you put two and two together at this point. You know,
Where
taking
Brock
him
could
out of
make a case, be like, "I was
yeah,
never named," and you're
hmm
whether he did or not, you just say, "Well, this is false." I was like,
yeah.
"I wasn't named," and I don't know. It's a
Maybe
whole, like you
maybe
said,
he
it's a
just
whole
doesn't he
mess.
doesn't want to step into that minefield right now. Maybe he doesn't want to do that. Maybe he just wants to spend time with his daughter.
Mm. You don't have a lot of
No,
time now.
I have not seen Wonka. Doesn't interest me.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it
I don't
wasn't
care about a Willy
interesting.
Wonka prequel. The biggest selling factor, it seems like, in terms of the advertising, was Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa.
He comes in about an hour into the movie and
And
looks as
I don't
weird.
buy Timothy Chalamet as a young Wonka. He's not manic enough. He doesn't have that spirit.
It's the same, yeah, the same performance throughout the entire film. Very bland, and yeah, yeah. I don't think it was needed, but
I'll
that's just
stick with
me.
Gene Wilder, thank you very much. You get nothing.
Is Mike a Seahawks fan?
Hell no. I will say this. I if my team, the Dallas Cowboys, are eliminated, from postseason contention or from the playoffs, I do root for Seattle because it's Pacific Northwest team, and so I could say it's a team that I don't mind rooting for in the right circumstance, but I'm not a Seahawks fan. All I got to say is to any Seattle fans out there, you should have ran the ball. Like you should have ran the ball. Should have given it to Marshawn Lynch against the Patriots. I know you relive that every day. You should keep reliving it because it's a mistake that I honestly feel cost them a Super Bowl. And sadly, for a lot of people, that's a lot of what they're going to think of when it comes to Pete Carroll and his legacy in Seattle. Not the blowout win they had over the Broncos in the Super Bowl. They're going to be thinking about not running the ball, not giving it to Marshawn Lynch, and allowing Tom Brady and the Patriots to win another Super Bowl.
And let me see here. Uh,
And Seattle related, I'm fine with Dan Quinn being gone in Dallas because his coaching was terrible against the Packers. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. And then I see footage
and
that
Mark,
he
to be
was at a Washington
yeah,
Commanders game talking to fans and talking about being the next head coach before the game even happened. So I'm like, did you just sabotage my team, Dan Quinn? Like, if that's the case, screw you.
screw you.
Screw you,
And Mark, to be
Quinn.
honest, I didn't watch much of that show. I just know the highlights that people sprinkled throughout the internet, but I didn't
If
watch much of that show.
if anyone is a fan of that show, you should watch this series of videos that Mr. Gigi did on YouTube. He did reviews of the show, and
Hmm.
those are entertaining. Those are really well made. They're older. I recommend that guy anyway. I think he makes some really good YouTube videos. He does horror reviews as well.
Well,
He did one on As Above So Below, and he spoke pretty positively about it. He talked about how it should have done
hmm.
better than it did.
But yeah, I mean, he better be careful. I guess these are years ago. He did these
Yeah,
reviews
yeah, years ago.
because nowadays YouTube will look as bullying,
Hmm.
just that those type of shows, which is crazy, but that's how YouTube is. And I mean, did Shaman Man knew there's the assumption he did, and
Oh,
that's why he
he.
left, or
I think he did.
yeah.
I think he 100% knew, and I think that is why he left. He saw the writing on the wall. He saw that things were getting too crazy and out of hand. I think he tried to put a stop to it. I this is my guess. He tried to put a stop to it, or he tried to get his dad to like just stop, and he wasn't listening to him. And he was like,
Mm,
nope. And I think that's why Stephanie also left too, because I'm pretty sure
mm.
she was probably well aware of it. I'm just wondering how
And
much
my favorite,
Hunter
yeah.
was involved with everything. Because if anything comes out in the
Mm,
investigation that he was at all involved or
not
aware
the
of
best.
anything and didn't do anything, that's gonna be really rough for him.
Oh yeah. What was it? Oh, my favorite Elm Street film is Part Four, Swede. That's my favorite. That's what I grew up with the most.
I really like the first one, but I might give it to Dream Warriors. But I also really like four as well. Dream Master is good. How's this
I
for a
mean, I
wet
like all.
dream?
I like all of them except Part 5 and the remake.
Yeah. Yep. Me too. Because I even like Freddy's Dead.
Matt as Bo, Mike as Larry, Afri as Curly, John Zirkle as Shimp, Fabio as. Oh, you gotta be better than Joe, because no
Yeah,
one
come
liked
on.
Joe Besser. Uh, Fabio will be the guy. Take hands, you love birds. That guy. He'll be that guy's name. And CT is Curly Joe.
Uh,
Is Mike the Larry of the group? I don't know. Maybe.
uh,
He's musically inclined
yeah.
like Larry, so there
Yeah.
you go. Oh, no problem, sweet. I mean, I grew Diamond Elm Street is the franchise I grew up with as a kid, horror film wise. Just Friday 13th Halloween I saw later in life.
I didn't, but I did watch Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, like a marathon of them when I was house sitting because my parents they went on vacation. It was when I was a teenager, and I rented all those movies from the library and I watched them. Um, so I didn't necessarily grow up with those franchises, but even then, I really like Nightmare on Elm Street because I really like the creativity and the imagination of the series, and
Yeah,
it's still my favorite horror franchise. To be honest, is Nightmare on Elm Street. Um, but I've warmed up more to Friday the
yeah,
13th over the years, and I've soured more on other ones like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween.
yeah. I don't blame you. Uh, yeah, I've heard only that it exists. That James Wolfe wrote a book. I don't know any of the details.
I'm
Uh,
surprised he had the time.
I know you're the co-host of the podcast he
Yeah,
did. He
Josh
does
Cannon.
videos. He
Yeah,
talks a lot
Dancing with
about James
Ghosts.
Wolfe.
Yeah, he's been doing videos about the nerd and other music stuff, and he's been getting a decent amount of views for him. And he got some flack though from the Cinematic or Truth forum. They started poking fun at him and everything. So there's
Hmm.
that. But that's kind of what happens when you make videos
I
on
thought
that
they
kind of
didn't. I thought
topic.
that forum didn't like James.
They don't, but like they kind of just started to turn on him a little bit too, because because of he did a video on Pat the NES Punk, and did some
Hmm.
other stuff, and I guess they just kind of saw him as someone who's trying to ride the coattails of James or whatever, for clicks and views and whatever. Um,
Hmm.
but it is what it is, and I don't blame my friend for doing that. If they're getting views, like, I mean, I'm gonna do more rant videos because on various different topics, because I mean, people were receptive to that. I mean, the Disney video I just did way better than my normal average. So
Hmm. Yeah, you know what people like out of you, so you do more of that.
yeah,
James Rolfe mentions AVGN in one chapter
wow.
in his book, really, and refers to Mike as Bate. That's strange. Not Mike. That's weird.
Not even motherfucker
Maybe
Mike,
I mean
just Mate.
maybe maybe because Mike is a very common name, but Mate is not.
Mhm.
So maybe to avoid confusion, maybe. Because if you say Mate, you know there's only one person with that name. Perhaps I don't know. Again, never read the book. Really have no desire to. I can't remember the last AVGN video I saw. I really can't.
I've seen all of his recent stuff, and yeah, it's definitely taken a a fall in terms of quality. It's receding uh uh in terms of its quality.
And okay, people talking about Number No Street. Well, yeah, it's the makes sense. It's the 40th anniversary of it. I forget what the exact date, but it's this year wise.
It's crazy that speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, it's nuts that they thought that they would be able to replace Robert Englund in part 2. I think they thought they could just get away with that and just replace Freddy with any other just generic stunt actor and makeup.
And Bobby, that would definitely be Mike because he says that line a lot in his videos. This house has sure gone crazy. He says that a lot. So he's a big fan of that.
Yeah.
So in fact, he even did a video where he showed the clips to let people know why he says that. But this
I
house has
notice
sure gone crazy.
I notice that I say, "You know what I mean?" a lot, and I've said that even before I even knew about, Ernest and how that's a popular phrase from him.
Do I
So
mean
now
what?
so now every time when I say, "You know what I mean?" Like, I just think of, Ernest, if I "You know what I mean?"
And no, I've never tried it.
No.
Although people assume I have, but I never have. Just no desire to. That's really all it
Yeah.
is.
It's
Never had desire to.
kinda like me and alcohol, I'm not super big on alcohol either. I
No,
remember
me neither.
drinking some beers with my dad and watching Fast and Furious, the 6th one. No, the 4th one. And I just
But
remember
I guess you need
getting
beers for that one. Yeah.
I just remember getting really tired and wanting to pee a lot. I don't really remember it being fun. So maybe I needed to drink something else. I
Yeah.
don't know. I did drink
No,
some
I've
other
never
beer
been.
at Toby Keith like bar and grill or something, and I do remember like acting like a fool and like singing the Drinkenstein song from from Rhinestone. Where Stallone, sings. It's like, Budweiser, you created a monster, and his name is Drinkenstein. Drinkenstein! Drinkenstein! Yeah. Stallone, what the hell was he thinking? I want to know about that. I want to hear Stallone's thoughts on Rhinestone and why the hell he did that movie. Never gonna hear it. Never gonna know.
No.
Probably doesn't
No, I
hate
don't really care about
Dolly
the
Parton.
maybe. No, I don't really care about the Bob Marley movie, General. I
I
don't.
like the
Yeah.
trailers for it, so I'm actually gonna go see that on Saturday after work. So I'll check it out. I know the reviews are pretty mixed or negative. I think it had like a 41% last time I checked. But that doesn't necessarily
Mhm.
mean anything. Rotten Tomatoes positive scores, like there are tons of movies that have gotten positive scores from them that I've saw, and I've been like, what are they seeing in this? This movie sucked. Why does this have like a fresh rating? And also the ratings are misleading because they will give a movie a rotten rating or a movie a fresh rating, but if you actually read the review, it doesn't seem like it's necessarily completely derogatory of the film or
Right.
saying that it's good, let alone great. There's a lot of times where they assign a fresh rating because the review is just like it's okay.
Yeah, Ghostbusters 2016 has a fresh rating.
Yeah. And a lot of it was people afraid to be called sexist. I remember reading those reviews. You could just hear the eggshells being walked on.
I don't really drink root beer, so I don't have an answer to this. I
Uh,
never. The, the few times I've had root beer was only for an ice cream float.
okay.
That's it. And if that's the case, then any of them, because it was more the ice cream I was more into than the float.
Yeah.
But I
For
rarely have root beer.
for me, it's A&W. I'm a big A&W fan. I don't a lot of people, they kind of are in two different camps with root beer. People who like more bite and other people who don't like as much bite when it comes to the root beer in terms of the flavor. And I
I'll
prefer
drink the cream
A&W.
soda. I'll
Yes,
drink the cream soda.
that's good too.
A&W, A&W cream soda, I remember being pretty good. So I'm not a root beer guy, but the cream
S-
soda I remember enjoying.
Speaking of drinks, do you remember Sobe?
I remember the look of it, but I
Yeah,
never tried it.
yeah. Sobe, I think Coke or Pepsi, one of them, and it was like a tea, juice drink kind of brand, and they had these really cool bottles back in the day when they first came out. They were glass, and he had like a gecko or a lizard on it. And I used to get their iced tea, their peach iced tea all the time.
Does it taste like
And
Gecko?
no, it tastes delicious. Like their
I know,
peach
I
iced
know.
tea was awesome.
I
And
know.
some of
Like,
their
what does Gecko taste like?
yeah,
Chicken? Yeah, I know.
some of their other flavors were all right. And then for whatever reason, they went away from the glass bottles, probably because of, waste and whatever, is it bad for the environment or something. And then they went to plastic bottles, which I'm like, how is that any better than glass? But they went to plastic bottles, and they didn't have regular peach tea anymore. Now it was diet peach tea, and I'm like, that wasn't nearly as good. And now they don't even do it anymore. There's no such thing
Someone
as
says
sobe.
you may still get it at Taco Bell.
At sobe at Taco Bell. That's a first. I
That's what
haven't
someone
seen anything.
says.
Huh, it must be a regional thing. Not over here.
Maybe. Maybe they should bring back orbits. Well,
Oh
little
God,
ducks floating around like a lava lamp.
that was fucking stupid.
Did you drink the lava lamp?
I remember seeing that in the store, like when it first came out. I was like, "What the hell is this? Really? Orbits?"
I mean, it's kind of cool to drink it at first, but
Yeah,
the taste was just very mediocre, and then
yeah.
you never did it again.
Crystal Pepsi was surprisingly decent. I'm not in love with it like Brad Jones, but
I did quite enjoy it. Like, I'm not a
hmm
Pepsi guy, and I would actually drink that because it was like a good diet Pepsi.
Surge made a comeback briefly, and I tried it. It was like a few years ago. That was nasty. Did you ever try Surge? Surge,
Yeah, I like Surge.
I wasn't big on it because it was like if you took orange juice and put Mountain Dew in it, and that's just a bad combo for me.
For me, it was like a good tasting energy drink.
Okay.
So I liked it, but I liked the orange
hmm
taste usually.
Yeah.
That's kind of people always ask me what this tastes like. I never know how to describe it. It's smooth, but it's not
Yeah.
really orange, but
It
I don't
it
know
is
how to
it is
describe it.
similar. It is very similar to like a lemon lime sort of thing. Like it is kind of a lemon lime sort of deal. But like
Yeah,
it
lemon,
has it has more of a flavor to it than Sprite. Mountain Dew, I don't even know what the flavor is. Like I'm
battery
drinking it.
acid.
I'm drinking it right now, and like I don't even know what the flavor is.
It said battery acid.
Yeah, it is pretty acidic.
That's why I mean I'll drink Code Red if
Mm.
I like Code Red, but regular
Baja
Mountain Dew like
Blast. I would
it's
rather
hard.
out of all of them, I'd rather do Baja Blast, but I'm okay with the original regular Mountain Dew. Maybe I'm used to it. But yeah, I
I
prefer
drink that
Mellow
all the time
Yellow.
when I was a kid, but now that I got Mellow Yellow, it's like
I only do Mountain Dew if I don't
I
have
would
my Mellow Yellow.
I would jump off a building, Mark, with a note. No mellow, no more. No
No,
mellow question mark, no more.
it's like no Mellow, no Yellow, no more.
So that'd be attached to my chest when they find my body. So that's what would happen. In seriousness, I would probably just probably drink. I wouldn't be happy about it, but I'd probably just
Uh huh.
drink Code Red.
Yeah.
I'd probably go more towards that then. Or maybe the same, I'll just drink more water and say screw it and be
Yeah.
healthier.
Yeah.
Not fat. I may be fat, but this will make me happy. So
Yeah. But
go with it.
yeah, Mellow Yellow is that's better. That's better Mountain Dew. That old
I know
Ernest
I've never.
commercial where he's like Mellow Yellow or Mountain Dew, and I'm like, there's no contest, Ernest. Just pick the Mellow Yellow. What are we what are we even doing here?
And no, I never tried Sprite Remix, and I never had Tab.
because Mountain Dew is there's cans of Code Red in Madam Web, and Mellow Yellow
Oh, really?
is in Days of Thunder. So I mean that's another
And Side of the
win.
Hedgehog.
Yeah,
Where you're like, holy shit, this has Side of the Hedgehog has Mellow Yellow. Okay.
yeah.
I never had Arizona iced tea.
It's okay. I prefer in terms of tea brands like now that aren't Sobe. Like I like Gold Peak. I like their iced tea. First time I tried their iced tea was when I was working at the movie theater in Oklahoma City, and they had the tea machine. I used to get it all the time. Their sweet tea.
Okay. 7-Up or Sprite? I guess I would choose 7-Up more than
Yeah, I would
Sprite.
choose because Sprite. I'm okay with Sprite if I'm mixing it with something else, or if I'm just drinking it because my stomach is upset. Other than that, I'm not. Sprite is just so bland and just tastes like nothing. Carbonated water, maybe a little bit of lime or lemon, and it's too carbonated. I don't like sodas that are too carbonated. That really messes with my stomach.
I'm more of a soda drinker. I don't drink alcohol. Maybe on special occasions. I don't care for energy drink. Yeah, I'm not an energy drink guy.
Do you
And
remember Volt?
I I never had it.
Yeah, I like Volt.
Was wasn't that like Surge or no?
No, it was more like Mountain Dew, but not as acidic kind of thing. It was similar
Oh,
in a vein to like Mellow Yellow, but like not necessarily like the same flavor. It was another green soda in a green bottle.
the one energy drink I liked, I forget what it was called, but it was like strawberries and cream. I forget what it
Was it
was called. I
Monster?
remember liking maybe it was specific one, strawberries and cream. I
Uh-huh.
did like that, but that's very hard to
I
find
do
now.
I do I do energy drinks rarely. Like if I have a day at work after I haven't slept that much and I've worked a lot and I'm just worn out and I'm really tired and needed to get through the day. Or if I'm doing like, what I did last year, a double working both jobs and doing a 10, 12-hour shift because I'm doing both jobs on Black Friday. Yeah, I'll do an energy drink then. But I like going with there's this mango drink that Monster does that I like. And I like Kickstart, Mountain Dew Kickstart. I don't mind that either.
Hmm.
Drink a lot
Never
of
heard
those when I
Kickstart.
was riding in the truck with my dad, when I was
What
helping him
flavor
out.
was Kickstart?
There's multiple different flavors. I prefer I think it's
Oh.
black cherry. I think that's what it is or something.
Hmm.
Um, there's that, and I think there's a pineapple one or something. I think
I know I did not like Dr. Pepper. I could not. Is like spicy or something. I don't know.
occasionally I'll be a pepper too, but that's not one that I'll pick most often. I will pick Dr. Pepper if I don't have Mountain Dew or other options. Like that's really what that is. It's like because I'm not gonna pick Sprite over it. I'm not gonna pick Coke because I don't like Coke. I like Coke less than Dr. Pepper.
Well, Cokeheads, but
Not that kind of Coke, but that used to be in Coke. That's why it's called Coca
yeah,
Cola.
yeah. I heard of Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream. Maybe I would try that. Maybe because I like strawberries and cream. I just wish it was a Dr. Pepper. Maybe I'd try that. And on Canada Dry, I've never tried.
I don't mind ginger ale, but I don't drink it a lot. It's weirdly my go-to when I go on a plane, though. It's like I'll have the ginger ale. I don't know why. Like That's really the only time I always seem to pick a ginger ales on a plane.
And yeah, I've heard of Mr. Pibb. I always thought I'm like, isn't that Dr. Pepper? But I never tried.
It is very similar. And there's also one, I don't know if they'd make it anymore. It's called Mr. Pibb Extra because I think it had extra
Yeah,
caffeine.
I've heard of that. Yeah, and yeah, I do remember Steven Seagal's Lightning Bolt. I never tried it. I always thought one. I always, for some reason, thought someone was going to send it to me to try, but it never happened. So no, I never tried it. I
Uh,
heard it was awful. I heard it was terrible.
well, it's Steven Seagal, so of course it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, but have it taste like Out for Justice and not like you know
Not
fucking
attrition.
or yeah or, Attack Force.
Yeah, attack force. It tastes so bad you want to blow it up with a grenade.
Or if it's bad, maybe you could dub it for a different, better drink. So like dubs voices.
Or you could swap it out for a drink double. You know, like he does in these movies. Where you'll see him and he's overweight and fat as hell, and then you'll cut to the next scene and it's a fight scene and there's this guy who's skinnier. Or he'll have like he can't even do a barrel roll, can't even do a roll anymore because he's eaten too many rolls. So then they cut to the guy who's actually able to do a somersault.
Someone's mentioned Bane energy drink.
Yeah, I tried that. It's all right. I don't do a lot of energy drinks. I mean, I don't do it like every day like some people do. It does make you feel weird, and I don't really necessarily like that feeling, especially if you combine it with like when I was taking the 24-hour Allegra in particular, like that was really kind of scary because my heart would like the palpitate like the heartbeat stuff like boom 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 like freaky.
Jesus.
Yeah, not not cool. I don't know how some people are able to do like more than one of those a day.
I think like yeah, I can't remember if it was Bane or Monster that energy drink,
The strawberries and
but it
cream
was one of them. Yeah,
sounds like a
it was something
monster
like that.
flavor, something like that.
They have Mr. Pip Estra at Wendy's. I guess at his Wendy's. Yes, I know there's an energy drink called C4, but I never tried it because I don't like Red
There's
Bull and
something
that
called
stuff.
Celsius, and there's stuff that's like getting banned because it has too much caffeine or something. I know Jolt
That heart
Cola.
attack.
Remember that? That was infamous. Jolt Cola.
Yeah, never tried that one. But yeah, I mean we've been going on for 3 hours. Been pretty went by fast.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess the last thing is what you have coming up on your channel.
So, I'm definitely gonna be doing the Madam Web rant. Probably be up sometime tomorrow. But I'm gonna try to watch some My Bloody Valentine tonight. Maybe get a review of the first one up. Before the end of the night. Um, and I got some more paid requests. Police Academy films. A couple more parts of the TV intro reaction thing. Um,
Thank you.
I had to re-record some of the audio because the first time I tried to record it, I did it with video and the camera froze, and so then I deleted the source file by accident, and then I basically had to had to start over. But I think it turned out better because I was able to kind of throw in some extra stuff, had a little more to think about and time to think about certain things in terms of like talking about a certain show or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, But yeah, I got that, and yeah, just a lot of just trying to knock out some more paid requests, get some wrestling reviews, and a few other topics here and there. Yeah, I tried Starry. I can't really say how different it is from
Never even
Sierra
heard of
Mist.
it.
Like, I would not be surprised if it literally is just Sierra Mist and they just rebranded it.
I've never heard of that. Sierra Mist is no longer around. I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
it's rebranded as Starry. It's a new
Oh,
new lemon lime soda.
so it's the same thing, but they just gave a different name for some
That's
reason.
what it tastes like to me. Like I could barely even tell the difference between the two. But then
Hmm.
again, I hadn't had Sierra Mist in forever, so I don't know. I didn't have a recent comparison to make between Starry and
Hmm.
Sierra Mist. It was all right.
Rebranded. Okay. Everybody out there, buy this as much as you can, man. Get those numbers up. It's the top 10. Damn it. But as for me, have a bunch of requests I'll be uploading. More of the Batman Arkham Asylum playthrough that was requested from Lucas for me to play the hard mode, which was
Okay.
fun. Some videos of reaction to other videos,
Mhm.
including Tremors.
Did you hear about the Batman Suicide Squad deal where Kevin Conroy's last voiceover?
Yeah, they kill off the his character, but now they're saying it was a clone or whatever, trying to backpedal
Mhm.
or whatever. And I'm like, really? Like this character
It,
you don't
it's
kill off
it's
and
hard to
by
believe,
bullets?
the same company that's responsible for Arkham Asylum is responsible for that, but the company's not the same. People have been fired. These new people have taken over, and they're just awful. So it's sad that that's probably going to be the final nail in the coffin for that version of Batman. The video game.
Well, I mean, well, Trevor Conroy is no longer with us, so what more
Hmm.
can you do?
Well, that too. Exactly.
And then the last thing you have him do is play a character who dies, just shot by bullets. It's like Superman is shot by bullets, and the Flash shot by bullets, and Green Lantern shot by bullets because apparently every superhero can just be killed by bullets. I didn't know that, but apparently so. How original, how creative. Just kill him by bullets. That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But I have other stuff coming up. Uh, oh, one I recommend.
Okay.
It was a first time commentary, but The Gray's Night of Pop. Have you heard of that?
Okay. No, is this a documentary?
Yeah, it is a documentary about the making of We Are the World.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I heard about that. It just came out on Netflix. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, The Gray's Night in Pop. And there's a lot behind the scenes during
Hmm.
that day of everybody there. You have interviews with
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen, Lionel Richie, Kenny
Dan Aykroyd.
Loggins. And no, I was surprised by that.
Because
I
because
guess really
because
he didn't
that's
have much.
always been kind of the running gag, like, look at all these big names and Dan Aykroyd.
It's like, why is Dan Aykroyd there?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very good one. There's a lot of good behind the scenes
They did a
stories.
metal version. It was
No.
called We Rock
Oh, okay.
or something. It was called Hear Aid.
Oh, okay. I remember Live Aid, but not Hear Aid.
Yeah, it was
No.
Hear Aid. Yeah, there's a reason you don't remember it. Like the song's okay, but like yeah, Dio I think
Like
was
one,
there. So was some other rockers and metal artists.
and like some stories that are pretty interesting. Like they wanted Prince, and he didn't arrive, so Huey Lewis took his place.
Okay.
So they gave Huey Lewis. Also, like I forget his name, the guy who sang the Dukes of Hazzard music.
Oh God, yeah, I don't remember his name either.
He left in the middle because Stevie Wonder stopped and was like, "Hey, can we put some Swahili in this?" And like they were arguing about it, and he's like, "I'm not saying no Swahili. I don't know how to say that." He just left and never came back to the studio.
That's funny.
Now they obviously didn't do that, but he just left and he never came back. Waylon something, I believe his name was,
Waylon
but
Jennings? Is that who it is?
that sounds about right.
Okay.
So yeah, there's some good stories in there about how like Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson wrote the song.
Okay.
Yeah, Waylon
Cool.
Jennings.
Yeah.
There's a bit where Ray Charles needed to use the restroom, so Stevie Wonder goes, "I'll show you." So there's a literal blind leading the blind. Now they all laughing about it. It's good, and again they had a lot of footage from that because yeah, everybody,
Mhm.
Bruce Springsteen, Michael Jackson, Huey Lewis, Kenny
There was a
Rogers,
fun SNL
a
parody
lot of people
of
in there.
that. It was pretty funny. They did a parody of We Are the World.
But yeah, definitely the Greatest Night in Pop. I definitely recommend that.
Okay.
That's a really good documentary. Nice to hear people like Bruce Springsteen and such talk about it.
Mhm.
Plus, I always like that song too. That always good song. And yeah, other than that, Backdraft, which you
Yeah.
requested, have a review of that up.
Cool. Looking
Uh,
forward to it because I think
and
it's
much more coming up.
kind of crazy you had a review of Backdraft 2 up, but nobody requested a
Yeah.
review of the first one. No, I still haven't seen that.
Uh, ti-
I don't
yeah.
want to see that. Backdraft 2.
Uh, Time Bomb, that'll be coming up sometime.
That
Decent
one, yeah,
movie.
it's decent. I wouldn't say great, but decent enough.
Right.
Definitely not worthy of being completely, totally forgotten about.
But at the same time, it has like one of the most over melodramatic musical scores I've ever heard in my life. But you do have a shootout in a porno theater, so that's something different. Hero with Dustin Hoffman
That
wasn't really
was,
big on it.
yeah, I wasn't big on that either. It's one of those things where I kind of don't mind the concept and the idea, but it's not executed the best. And like, I don't know
It
if it's
wasn't
trying
that
to be a,
funny.
is it trying to be a comedy or is it trying to be a drama? Because I don't think it's that effective at all as a comedy. As a drama, it's all right, but as a comedy, no.
No, I think it was trying to be more of a comedy, and I like Dustin Hoffman, but I don't think he was the right guy.
Yeah.
And I haven't done the review yet, but if Joe Pesci or Bill Murray played his role, I think it would have worked
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Granted,
Yeah.
they were busy, just Joe Pesci did My Cousin Vinny, and then Bill
Mhm.
Murray. Not the same plot, but the Groundhog Day.
Me
Then the year
what about
afterwards, a guy who, yeah,
what about someone like Michael Keaton? Throw out another sort of name.
could be, yeah,
Because
that could.
he has the comedic chops, he's, Mr. Mom and other stuff like that. Or the very
I could see
short-lived
that.
show with James Belushi that never really got off the ground called Working Stiffs, that I have the theme song stuck in my head.
And yes, Metal Ape, that will be. I did see that. I just have to record the review. That's a very awful movie
What movie?
where the ape, which is
Oh yeah, the one
South
with
Korean film,
the ape that flips off
he
the
swats a helicopter, and where it crashes, it does this,
yeah.
like the cheapest ape suit. And there's a line like the lead girl is the mom in Growing Pains,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and like playing an actress, and it's supposed to be like an assault scene, but the guy's being
Joanna
too rough.
Kearns, is that who it is, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when she's coming back, the director's taught to the actor going, remember, you have to rape her gently. That's the line of the movie.
Like, how? How do you do that gently?
Just the fact that line is in there.
It's almost like you gotta do it gently, nice and slow. Can't be too rough.
Also, like every animal it attacked is like as big as him because they didn't know
Mhm.
the size. So there's a shark, but the shark's like as big as him. I'm
Yeah,
like, is this a megalodon he's
yeah.
fighting?
And then there's other
There's
stuff
a
too,
snake.
like there's
Why
literally
the
like
snake?
there's a boat and it looks like it's just in a bathtub. It's just a
It
toy
does,
boat
especially
in a
when
bathtub.
the suit's ripping and you see his white T-shirt.
It's kind of the same
It's
vein of incompetence that is kind of charming, like
it's funny. It was
like the giant
funny.
spider invasion. It's kind of that same sort of
Yeah.
vein because the giant spider invasion is similar. Oh, the giant spider's
It,
attacking the baseball mound, and it's just a VW bug with legs attached on it to it and fur over it, and you could literally see the wheels.
yeah, darn it, it was a real dead shark they used, which is a bit weird in itself. But the fact is that it is in conjunction with him, but at the same time, in their reality, that shark has to be as big as a megalodon, since it's supposed to be a 36-foot ape. So it's like, how big is the shark in this
Yeah.
universe? you know, uh, it was funny. It's bad.
What
Like
would
actually,
you
some of this, I had to write some shit
yeah.
down.
What would you
Like
say is better, Matt? Ape or King Kong Lives?
I would go with King Kong Lives.
Yeah.
The effects are a bit better. Uh, I probably like Linda Hamilton more than the
Mhm.
one girl.
Mhm.
But Ape is more funny bad.
Yeah.
I would say if you want more of a laugh,
King Kong Lives has some
Ape would be
moments like
better.
that though too, like the surgery scene, which is pretty funny. Giant surgical instruments, or the scenes involving the female Kong and trying to court King Kong and the whole like them being lovey dovey. Like that's pretty funny too.
Although there is a scene here where there's a guy hang gliding and like lands on his hand and goes, and then Ape's like as if he's having an orgasm, like, oh my god, it's a hang glider for some fucking reason. Or there's a military. Colonel is like trying to do a John Wayne impression. He's like, "What kind of bullshit are you trying to hand me?" Or he's like, no, I'm gonna smoke this goddamn cigarette. Well, we gotta tell them, I don't care. I'm gonna stand here and smoke this goddamn cigarette. It's like they knew in the middle that they were doing a bad movie, so they just went with it. Uh, there's some crazy stuff in it though, so that'll be coming sometime. And Paparazzi,
Okay.
pretty forgettable movie.
With something like Ape, um, I think it was smart that they were kind of in on the joke at a certain point. I think the Sony recent Sony disaster, Madam Web. I think they should have been in on the joke more. Instead, they took it seriously, and so it's just boring.
Right.
Like I'm just imagining like if you had Aubrey Plaza and her sarcastic side eye in the lead role, and she's just taking shots at the movie, like rolling her eyes at dialogue, like that would be fun. But that would never happen because Sony, they wouldn't actively want to make a movie that's basically sabotaging itself. But I think since it's such a hard sell anyway, I think they should have like just been like, yeah, this is garbage. We're just doing it for money laundering purposes. we're we're in on it. We're gonna try to make it entertaining. Like I can't believe that. Yeah, I'm like, man, I'm pining for Morbius now, and Matt Smith and his over the top hammy performance in that. I'm like, you know what? Matt Smith dancing like a clown and doing all that other stuff. At least he was trying. At least he was trying to have some fun compared to the lead guy playing Ezekiel Sims in this, who's just walking NyQuil.
Exactly. But yeah, with that said, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for taking part on this Valentine's Day stream, the Valentine's Day Massacre. We will see you guys later. Take care and stay tuned for more stuff.